Oh yeah, we got the weigh-in coming on in a minute. I'm gonna try to catch those afterwards. Now, I just thought about it. You know, usually Tank Davis, he will push the guy in the weigh-ins. I wonder if he gonna push Frank Martin today. Just now thinking about that. I'm wondering if that's gonna happen, man. They got a lot of fights coming on. You got Matias fighting this weekend. I'm expecting a lot out of these fights. That fight right there, I'm excited about right now. Probably Matias and Paro. I think people sleeping on that fight. I ain't even gonna lie. I got hyped probably yesterday about it. Been waiting on it so long. It's gonna be some good fights on this weekend. It's gonna be a huge weekend. There's a lot of people saying knockouts, but I don't think it's gonna be that many knockouts. I really don't think so. I think these gonna be some tough fights. I seen yesterday though. I don't know why. Yesterday, Paro looked nervous to me for a minute. Then I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because he'd have been in some wars. He don't really seem nervous, but today they both look like they was locked in. Him and Matias. We haven't seen the other way in yet, but that way in they pretty relaxed. They look very relaxed today. It's gonna be a tough fight. I really can't figure out what time that main event actually starts. I gotta figure that out. That's gonna be a good fight though. I think this gonna be a tough fight for Paro and for Matias. But right now, I think Matias can pull it off. But man, you know, Paro gonna be a tough fight. It's not gonna be an easy one. He gonna do a lot of moving too. If he don't jab as much, like if most of these guys don't jab, they gonna end up losing to a lot of these fights. Most of them, from what I'm seeing. I gotta figure out who gonna jab tomorrow. I think Paro can jab, but I don't know if he can go punch for punch all the way because all his punches aren't power punches. And he don't have an inside game. Like he can fight inside, but that's not his main style. So that's gonna clash a little bit. Yeah, I see a lot of people say, as far as Tank Davis, his fight styles inside. Yeah, I think in this fight, I think the inside will basically be his advantage. I definitely think so. It's gonna be a lot of advantages in this fight. But I don't know, man. I think people sleeping on Paro. A lot of people say he get knocked out. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's definitely a possibility in my mind, but I just don't know for sure. If I did, I would be betting that way right now, but I just don't know. Kind of all over the place. I was sure for a couple of days, like, yeah, Matias gonna knock him out. But now I'm kind of like, man, it can go either way. Even Matias would probably say that. All these fights like that. But guarantee knockout, I don't know. I don't hear nobody betting their house on guaranteed knockouts right now. These and it, that's not the type of fight right now. Not that I see. None of these fights are guaranteed knockouts, to be honest with you. I do see knockouts in a couple, but it's like mostly undercard, main events, just strictly knockouts. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, but I think Matias was more so locked in yesterday already for the fight. I really do. I think his mindset is gonna be right for this fight. He not overlooking Paro. Uh, he know that he easily could come in there and try to get the win, but so that's a good thing for him. That make a huge difference. So if he can go in there and try to get a win, he's good. I think Paro, I don't know if he can jab enough though. I know he does have a jab, but like I said, man, a lot of these guys, they just need a jab, but most of these guys can jab, but and I'm not talking about the champions, I'm talking about the challengers. Like, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I definitely don't know. I'm trying to figure out what would be an upset tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out right now for what fight would possibly be an upset. I feel like it's gonna be one. Got 3 big chances. A lot of these guys got knockout power, so it can definitely be an upset. I'm just not for sure yet. But Paro, he bring a lot to the table, man. It's gonna be the best fight that Matias had so far. I don't know if Paro's a guy who's still thinking about the last win he had, or he kind of moved on. I feel like in my eyes, he kind of moved on from the last fight. He doesn't have a belt. He basically went overseas, took the fight. So yeah, I think he locked in. But the inside game, from what I seen, he probably gonna have to stay away from that. He gonna be on the outside, which will work. Like most of these power punches, if you could throw the jab and move around a little bit, you good. Yeah, if you can throw the jab and move around, you're good. But it could get into a slug match. But I don't think Paro's a guy that's gonna try to slug go back and forth exchange with Matias just throughout the fight. He's gonna try to use some defense and move around. So that's the part right there that's kind of got me confused on what's gonna happen in the fight. Because he does move around. He jabs. I don't know. He can be one of those guys that can be like, I'm gonna jab more in this fight than I did before because we seen Fedor. He's the type of guy who will just go back and forth and exchange with somebody, but in the Tim Tszyu fight, he just stuck to the jab. So I don't know if it'll be a situation like that. And that's a good example too. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a way the fight can go. Even with, I'm telling you, a lot of these fights, if these guys jab tomorrow the way they're supposed to, it's gonna be a lot of trouble for a lot of these people. But the thing about it is, guys like Matias and Tank and all these guys, they in shape and they throw a lot of punches. So that's the trouble. You can't really prepare for stuff like that. You just gotta go out there and fight your own fight. You know, that's where the trouble come in at. But man, it's gonna be a huge fight day tomorrow as far as these fights. It's gonna be a huge day. I feel like Matias and Paro, they're not really nervous. You know, they kind of relaxed. They're not trying to overdo it. They don't got no fake beef going on. I think that's a little more serious than most of the other fights right now. There's a lot on the line right now for those guys. I'm talking about a lot. It's a lot on the line. But in my mind, I felt like Matias was going to feed off the energy of the crowd. Even though that sounds like some movie stuff, I'm just being real. You know, that they help sometimes when you've been fighting in another country and you back in your hometown or whatever. That's going to help. So, yeah, he going to have an edge, but if Paul can go in there and jab and move and then try to save everything for the later rounds, I think most of these guys going to have to do that. I think Volzy going to have to do that against Benavidez. Martin going to have to do that. And I think Paul going to have to do that too. Definitely going to have to jab a lot more. Because the last fight, he got away with like his hands being low and you know, not really throwing that many jabs. He was throwing a lot of jabs though. That's why I'm kind of confused as I know he probably gonna stick to that game plan, but is it gonna be enough jabs in the arsenal? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And a lot of these guys, they're not overlooking their opponents right now. They're not overlooking their opponents. I've heard some things I just heard before I got on here. A lot of these guys dropping some big hints as far as what they see. I see the same type of things, you know. But it's some big hints being dropped today. You know, usually during weigh-ins or before the fight, there'll be a lot of truth coming out. So, but Matias is in shape, man. He's locked in. He's definitely locked in. I think he's been on weight since yesterday. So, yeah, he's very serious about this fight. Yeah, this gonna be a good fight. It's not that many, it's not that much pressure on him too. Like he fighting at home, but he's not trying to make it bigger than what it is. You know, he look at it as if I probably win, I can come back and have another fight. So I'm not gonna try to put too much pressure on myself. And that's a good thing because some of these fights, guys put a lot of pressure on themselves. It's gonna tell us a lot though. It's a good measuring stick. Matias, he already has other fights he's looking at, like Regis Prograis. We're gonna figure out a lot about these divisions These some big fights at 140. We got a couple of fights at 140 and 135 tomorrow. I think it's just one at 135. But like it's a couple at 140. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight though. Paro's not an easy fight. Does he have the stamina and the punch output? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm trying to figure it out now. A lot of these fights closer than people think. Because I've been hearing people say, yeah, this guy's gonna knock him out and he's gonna knock this guy out. I mean, yeah, but what if the guy doesn't knock him out? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are these rounds gonna be won? So a lot of times, you know, guys are chasing knockout. They won't even try to win rounds. So I don't know how many fights gonna go like that, but it's possible. In at least 4 or 5. So I don't know. Even on the undercard, it's hard to choose. What's up, Aaron? What's going on, man? I was looking at all this footage for like tomorrow. You know, they put out all these like 30-minute shows and things on YouTube to promote these fights. That Matias and Paro fight, you know, I was looking at some clips and a little press conference. I'm kind of excited to see that fight tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of excited to see that fight. I've been waiting for a while, but I'm more excited about that fight right now. I know they're gonna have Tank Davis the weigh-ins in a minute, so you know we've been talking about that fight for a minute. That's gonna be a good fight as well. Tank Davis said some big things about yesterday too in the press conference. Saying that Frank Martin landed a good shot on him in sparring again. But Frank Martin said more though. He said that you know, Tank legs got weak and had to grab him. So I'm like, whoa, that's some new information right there. But nobody talking about it. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was huge in the press conference. That's why Tank got mad if y'all ever heard. And then Frank Martin said, what happened then? Tell me what happened in the sparring match. And then Tank never answered the question. But he was talking for a long time after that. He ain't never asked him what happened. Yeah, you know, I told y'all, man, that sparring match was. I hope I get to see it one day. You know, we get to see them fight, but that was some big talk about that. Yeah, I'm surprised he said that. And I don't think he's lying. Tank didn't say he was lying. He said you didn't what he said? He said my legs didn't basically, you know, shake or get weak, but you hit me with a good shot. That happens in boxing. I don't remember too many times he just said somebody hit him with a good shot in boxing. I mean in sparring. And he said a good shot. And that was a while ago. Oh man, hold on. I gotta pause that real quick. It look like Paro got dropped in one of these fights. They ain't counted. Yeah, but yeah, I'm pause that real quick. But yeah, that caught me off guard. So I don't know, man. I think these guys gonna come out firing. I think Tank gonna be aggressive tomorrow. I think Matias gonna be aggressive, but he gonna slow walk. He's not gonna start fast. He gonna see what the power like. I'm not gonna lie, I seen one of his fights recently. Man, he was throwing some blows, man. I know people say, well, he ain't got no defense. Bro, he's coming there to fight. It's not gonna be no boring fight. It's about to be some hands thrown. Yeah, shout out my dog Aaron too, man. Yeah, it's not gonna be no boring fight. It's gonna be a very good fight. If you look at the face-off yesterday, all y'all gotta do, I'm telling you, to get excited about the Paro and Matias fight, just look at the face-off yesterday and look at the face-off today. Them dudes locked in. I mean, the weigh-in basically today. They locked in. They're not barking. They're not arguing. They're not yelling. It's gonna be a serious fight, man. I think somebody will get upset tomorrow. I just don't know who. If anybody got some suggestions as far as who's gonna win tomorrow by knockout or decision, what's up, 3V? By knockout or decision. If anybody got some comments about who they think gonna win, I don't know. I don't know who the upset gonna be tomorrow. Y'all think it's gonna be an upset? I know a lot of people say they think Benavidez is gonna lose. I don't know. That came out of nowhere. I heard a few people saying that recently, like a couple of months ago, but a lot of people said Benavidez like around Monday. I was like, whoa. I'm surprised by that. Yeah, I'm trying to find one. I'm at first, I was like, nah, I don't see, because I don't see these guys jabbing. You need guys like to beat Matias and Tank. You need some guys that can jab for 12 rounds. So I don't know if Paro or Martin, I don't know if they can go 12 rounds jabbing. And you trying to win on the scorecards? No, I ain't talking about those yet. No, I ain't talking about those. It's so many in my mind right now. First off, like the Kyron Davis versus Elijah Garcia. I want to see that fight. That's the fight I've been waiting on. Right now, I'm trying to figure out. You think Paro get knocked out? Yeah, I've been thinking that for a while. Cause Matias, he ain't trying to go 12 rounds. Yeah, I've been thinking that for a while. Yeah, but with the Elijah Garcia and Kyron Davis fight, I actually want to see that fight. I don't want to miss that fight. I might be on live early that day. They got the times up, but some of these times be wrong. But I want to be on live early so I can see that fight. Usually I'm watching the fight. I just don't be on live sometimes, but I be more excited about the undercard sometimes than the main events. That's why I don't be alive. I be yelling too much. Yeah, I know. He's not overlooking him or anything like that, but it's gonna be a close fight. It's gonna be the toughest guy he done fought though. I'm definitely not overlooking Paro. If he fights on the outside like I think he will, this could easily be a 12-round fight. Just like with Kyron Davis though. I don't know. He took some time off the last couple of years. I don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know for sure. I'm not betting the house on it right now. Like, I'm trying to figure out, should I bet the house on a upset? That's what I'm thinking of in my mind right now. You said Paro easy work? Okay. I felt like that, but you saying easy work, okay. I feel like a lot of people saying that now. I'm gonna tell you how much pressure this is. Now, now this is where I'm gonna be realistic about it. This is why I ain't saying none of these dudes easy work. I didn't say Ryan Garcia was easy work. I'm gonna tell you why I don't say that. I didn't say Ryan Garcia was easy work because if somebody like Paro come up with the upset tomorrow or Benavidez, I'm not Benavidez, but Vozick. What's up, PD? Vozick or Frank Martin? Because a lot of people saying all these dudes getting knocked out. So if these dudes end up going 12 rounds and winning or something like that, but I think Matias is a lot stronger than what Liam Paro is. But I definitely got Matias by knockout right now. So I definitely got to agree with you. But I don't want to say easy work because if it could easily be an upset. It's 3 different fights, and they all close. And these some of the best opponents they fought. That they said, you know. But I think the way Matias fight though, it's gonna be if Paro fights like that, it's gonna be an easy fight. But it's almost like the same way with the Elijah Garcia fight. Elijah Garcia got a lot of knockouts. I feel the same way about that fight, like most of these fights. Because if a lot of these guys can jab, the underdogs, if they can jab in the fight, a lot of these guys got a chance. You know, a lot of people haven't been active lately, so the stamina not gonna be top notch, but yeah, shout out to PD, man. What's up, PD? And Aaron. Yeah, I feel like how you do 3V. My mind keeps switching. I'm like, cause Paro, he talking confident. He talking the same way last time. Cause last time he was like, yeah, I'm gonna beat Montana Love. And I was like, you know, I'm going with Paro in this fight. And he ended up beating him. Like Paro don't mess around, man. Like this real talk. Paro don't mess around. He ain't no scrub. Bro don't mess around. Yeah, Tank is Tank. Yeah, I feel the same way about Matias, man. Matias so locked in, bro. Then seeing one of his fights last night, it just was like, man, I don't know if Paro can fight like that, man. Oh, okay, that what's up, man. Oh yeah, that what's up. Yeah, it's about that time to chills. Definitely hot outside. Oh yeah, man. So I'm gonna tell you about some stuff that happened last night. I'm gonna tell you, APD, the information been coming out, bro. Been hitting the information lately. They had some more Floyd information came out. So you know what's crazy, bro? I felt like I went too hard on Floyd in my live a couple of weeks ago. Now all this information about him coming out last night. Then he said Tank Davis fight was canceled last night. A whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm gonna get to the fights first. But yeah, this Kyron Davis fight. I know Kyron Davis because I'm trying to see if I'm gonna bet tomorrow. Cause I seen most of these guys fight, but Kyron Davis, he's a guy who went 7 rounds with Benavidez. He's naturally like a guy who can fight at 54, 60. But he fought at 68 against Benavidez one of his toughest fights though. Even though it was 7 rounds, it was a tough 7 rounds. No grabbing, just unleashing punches and everything. He was holding his own. But this guy Elijah Garcia, you know, he's a problem. So I think he has like 14 knockouts and 16 fights, something like that. He's a problem. So I'm trying to see right now, because the guy that Kyron Davis fought last fight, Elijah Garcia knocked him out in 2 rounds. But the guy, he's a young pro, so he was kind of like inexperienced. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Elijah Garcia got some power. Yeah, more so. I wasn't thinking about the workout, but I was just thinking about overall the fighting style. Like that last fight, the Ponce fight that Matias was in. Ponce came out throwing some punches in the first round. I'm talking about some big punches. He just was taking the punches, walking through them around the middle rounds, destroyed them. Yeah, he make a lot of guys quit, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he did good and he was small. But the guy he fought the last fight recently, I think it was in December, Elijah Garcia knocked him out in the second round. He hit him with a left hand. I think he hit him with a left hook, then a right hand. Then he threw a right hook. Then he threw a overhand left and knocked him out. Well, dropped him. He didn't knock him out, but he dropped him. He was out of there though. And this was like the second round. He got some power. When I say he punched this guy's head, man, like, bro, it looked like he was throwing the ball of lettuce or something. Like, so he's possibly gonna get a knockout. So I'm thinking, but Kyron Davis is a dog though. I like Kyron Davis. So I'm trying to see, but he looked a little rusty his last fight. But I feel like he was just trying to get some cobwebs off. He can box. He can definitely catch you if you try to be too aggressive, but I don't know, man. He's been in some wars lately. He's definitely a guy who he's never been. I think the only guy who stopped him was Benavidez. So it's kind of tough for anybody to stop him. I think he had a draw with Darrell. That was a tough fight. He was a young guy too. I think he was around like 25, 24 when he fought Darrell in a draw. So I don't know, man. I was leaning towards Garcia for a knockout because, you know, maybe Garcia just at that level right now. Because I was saying that about Benavidez, like, you know, I was gonna roll with Andre, but I'm like, dang, maybe Benavidez just at that level now because he's still young, he's growing. Maybe he done got better the last 12 months. So I'm thinking this is a situation with Garcia, like maybe he done got better since he KO'd the guy in the second round. Like he's still developing. And he's still humble. He's like, no, I'm not promising no KO. Like I'm going in there trying to make sure I can hold my own with him. So with him saying that, I'm like, man, if it's 10 rounds, not 12, but he's saying in his mind, like if he can go 10 rounds, it'll have to go 10 rounds, but I'm not gonna look for the knockout. Which is smart. So I'm like, yeah, you can go with that. But he's a huge favorite though. I think he's like minus 1,600 or something like that, which is insane. That's insane. That's definitely insane. But it's gonna be a good fight though. I definitely think it's gonna be tough. Garcia, he jabs a lot. Well, not a lot. He jabs enough. I would say above average. Got a lot of power though. Good ring IQ. He's a very good fighter. But with the other fight that's coming on, I'm looking towards But I got right now I'm leaning towards Garcia for a knockout though. I don't know what everybody else is saying, but I'm leaning towards knockout for him. Could possibly be wrong. Well, actually, I was leaning towards 12 rounds. No, I was leaning towards 12 rounds. Yeah, I was leaning towards 12 rounds, I think. I'm kind of confused on it, man, to be real with you. I'm back and forth on that one. But with the Goucher fight against Carlos Adames, I'm looking at that fight too. I feel like Goucher, actually, I was going to pick Goucher for an upset. But I'm not going to lie, Adames, he's a little aggressive. He does a lot in the ring, you know what I'm saying? He's aggressive. But he definitely holds his own, you know what I'm saying? So a guy like Goucher, I don't know what he's going to be able to do as far as overall in a 12-round fight. I know he's coming to fight because it's a title fight. This guy that been in there with a lot of champions and top of the line guys. I know Tim Tszyu said recently that was his toughest fight. I felt like that too before he said it. But he said that's my toughest fight I had so far. That was before the Fundora fight. So I was kind of leaning towards him for an upset. Because, you know, J-Rock, he gave Carlos Adames a hard time in that last fight. Even though Carlos Adames ended up stopping him early, that don't mean nothing. He had a hard time. And J-Rock, he was out of the loop for a while. So I was looking at Adames like, you know, everybody was looking at Adames like he was gonna beat all the top guys. They don't look like they're not saying that now. And I think that J-Rock fight is part of the reason. Even though he ended up stopping him, people not really high on Adames as they were before. But I feel like he's still a good fighter. You know, J-Rock, he was just a dog, you know. Came in there to win. Especially for a belt. You know, he fought like he was fighting for a belt. Yeah, he's a dog. But that was a good fight. But I think Carlos Adames, you know, he might be too much right now. I think he might be too much right now. His exchanges and combinations. Goucher, he got great fundamentals. I definitely feel like it's gonna go 12 rounds. I definitely know it's a 12-round fight. Yeah, I think Adames, that inside work gonna be too much for Goucher. He gonna try to be on the outside and he gonna win a lot of rounds, but I think Adames just gonna be too much. And that was a tough fight for me to pick because I actually wanted to pick Goucher in that fight. Definitely wanted to pick him in that fight. I was like, yeah, man, he got a good chance. But when you think about it, Adames, he probably had some time off. He was a little too aggressive in that J-Rock fight. I don't know why he was expecting a knockout like early. That's kind of how he was fighting. Like, I'm gonna get a knockout early. I don't think he's gonna approach this fight like that. And then with the one of the fights I think that's actually gonna be a knockout is the Gary Russell and Pulo fight. I think Pulo possibly getting knocked out. I think he just dropped his hands too much during the fight. Not because Gary Russell, the power and everything. I think he just, to me, he just dropped his hands way too much. And the guy he was fighting, I forgot what the guy called. I think his name is Akas something. And he dropped him. Not dropped him, but he hurt him pretty bad a couple of times. I almost dropped him. It was a split decision, you know, but it was a tough fight. He can't go in there fighting Gary Russell like that. And Gary Russell, he gonna let his hands fly. I feel like he needs to be a little more patient, but that goes with it. Some guys fight that way. But he needs to be a little more patient. But with Pulo, I think if Gary Russell goes in there and fight aggressive like he usually does, that'll be to his advantage. I really do. So I think that fight will be a knockout. Just because Pulo, he got the size advantage. He jabs pretty well, but it's not gonna be enough to keep the restraints off of you for a long period of time. And this is for an intern belt too, so I think it's the WBC intern. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be for that. Yeah, it's not an easy fight. Yeah, it's definitely not an easy fight. But I think Gary Russell, man, if he can go in there and hold his own for the early rounds, it's gonna be easy the rest of the fight. If he starts fast and just doesn't let Pulo get comfortable, that'd be an excellent fight. But I think Pulo, the way he fought last time, he did a good job. It was just the little things. He was dropping his hands too low. And for a guy that tall at that weight class, his size should be his main advantage. So he don't really use his size like that. Now, if he goes in this fight and uses his jab and he's moving around the ring, yeah, this might be a long fight. It could easily be a situation where all these fights can go to distance. From what I'm seeing. All guys got to do is jab. I don't think most of the champions gonna be looking to jab or the guys who's favorites, but yeah, if they can make some things happen in the ring, it's gonna be all right. I think Gary Russell's ready. He gonna take that next step. And a lot of guys at 140, they got to make some moves quick, man. That weight class is getting crowded. And then you got guys talking about moving up from 35. So somebody got to lose eventually. It's gonna be good for boxing, though. I think tomorrow is gonna be probably the biggest day of the year, just because so much going on. Gonna have a chance for a lot of people to watch the fight. It's gonna be a different energy. Haven't had really a day in the summer where we had 3 big fights on. The Benavidez fight is technically a main event, almost. It's gonna be a lot of excitement tomorrow, though. We got the other fights coming on across the pond too. So it's gonna be a lot of fights coming on tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked at that Smith in that other fight. I gotta look at some stuff about that fight still. So I did look at the Ben Whitaker fight. That's gonna be a good fight. I did study that fight. Ben Whitaker, he's still young, so he's not gonna go out there and try to be aggressive or showboat or anything like that in a close fight. His last fight was pretty close. The guy did a good job. Yeah, the last guy he fought, he was pretty good. And Ben Whitaker was smart. He wasn't trying to showboat or go out the way and do extra things to kind of lose points or as far as lose rounds. You said what's up with Benavidez and Morrell fight? Yeah, they gonna fight. You know, Morrell's gonna fight. Morrell's gonna fight. I don't really pay. I mean, I don't really pay attention to it. You might not never hear me report on that fight because at this time it's not a real fight. I mean, they gonna promote it because it's gonna be like a Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford situation where they build a fight up over years. But Benavidez and David Morrell, they're two young guys who will fight the older guys. So you know, we got older guys who are still in their prime technically or at the top of their game. And guys like Morrell and Benavidez would rather fight those guys and then later on have a big fight together. If you can make an easy fight like that together, I mean, that's not a problem. But Morrell only has 10 fights though. What he only has like 10 fights. There's never been a guy in boxing history that I've known. I know they had Lomachenko, but Lomachenko had like a million amateur fights. But Dave Morrell only has 10 fights. That's just like me if Deontay Wilder had 10 fights right now. And I was saying everybody ducking him. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. So 10 fights, that's not enough for people to kind of. And then you got to look at all the people. And I don't want to call Dave Morrell out, but Christian and Billy was going to be his mandatory before he moved up to 75. Before he moved up to 175, that Christian and Billy guy was going to be his mandatory. So the belt that Christian and Billy got right now, that's the one that Dave Morrell just gave up. The little intern belt. He just gave up basically his mandatory spot to Christian and Billy. That's why Christian and Billy calling out Canelo now. So even if Morrell couldn't get the Benavidez fight, why would you lose your spot to Canelo? Like you could have fought Canelo. But people say that Benavidez is bigger than Dave Morrell. Why is Dave Morrell moving up to 75 the same time Benavidez is? You said, did he duck in Billy? I mean, it's business. You know what I'm saying? Over here, I'm going to tell you straight up, though. It's business. But, yeah, technically about what everybody say, he has a duck. But he trying to build himself up, bro. That's all it is. But I seen a whole bunch of people saying that people are ducking Morrell. Ain't nobody ducking Morrell. Ain't nobody ducking Morrell. If Benavidez trying to fight Bitterviv and Bivol, so technically, if people saying that David Morrell, Benavidez is ducking David Morrell to fight Bitterviv and Dimitri Bivol, that don't make no sense. So that a lot of that don't even make any sense. But that's like stuff I went over last year. But yeah, it's a section of people who say that David Benavidez is ducking David Morrell. I mean, I just told you why that don't make any sense. It doesn't. The only thing that happened with David Benavidez is he called David Morrell when he had a chance to fight him. And they was like, we gonna fight. And they was like, okay, cool. Set it up and everything. Then Munguia called. And he was like, well, I'm trying to fight. Then David Benavidez was like, I'd rather fight Munguia than fight Morrell. So let me fight Munguia. Then Canelo said, no, I want to fight Munguia. And then that's when Benavidez said, forget it. I'll just fight Andre then. So he fought Andre. Then he goes back. He said, I want to fight Munguia still. Then Munguia like, I'm going to fight John Ryder. And then Canelo said, no, I want you to fight. I want you to wait and fight me first. And then Munguia said, no, I'm fighting John Ryder first. Then I'll fight you. So that's when he fought him. Then a couple of months later, fought Canelo. And now we at the point where we at now. And you got David Morrell moved up. To say, I'm telling you, like this is the thing in boxing. It's not the same case. People want to say And this is what fans got to realize. People think that if somebody like Terrence Crawford is getting ducked in boxing, that the same thing happening for a guy like Morrell. It's two different things. It's two different situations. First of all, Morrell ain't put in the work like that to actually get. He ain't beat nobody. That's the thing that kind of wearing me out of boxing. I was hearing a guy in my comments last night telling me about Boots Ennis. Terrence Crawford ducking Boots Ennis. And my thing is this right here. How is Terrence Crawford ducking Boots Ennis and he just fought Earl Spence? Then turns around and I heard other people saying, well, it's just a whole bunch of narratives around that, man. I can't really explain that, but I mean, at the end of the day, bro, Inoue is fighting Neary and Terrence Crawford going up to 54 to fight Majramov. So which one sound harder? Like it's only three boxers, and people be looking at me crazy, but they don't even understand my theory behind defending boxers. The only boxers I defend, no matter what, is the guys who give the fans the fights they actually want. When the fans say, hey, I want to see this guy and this guy fight. I just heard 4 months ago, everybody was saying that they want to see certain guys fight. It's only a couple of guys. If you look at boxing right now, it's only a couple of guys who've been making the fights that the fans want to see for the last 5 years. Everybody else just fighting people. Let's just be real. And they making money, and they selling it for a pay-per-view. So Benavidez, so this is where people gonna leave me at. So people want me, Benavidez, one of the youngest guys in boxing history, to be chasing down guys in their prime. He's chasing down guys older than him. Him and Canelo ain't around the same age. He's chasing down Canelo and all these older guys. Then he's gonna fight the guys around his age. That's the smartest thing ever. Why would you not do that? That's what Teofimo's done it. I give credit what credit's due. Teofimo's done it. Haney's done it. Ryan Garcia's done it. Benavidez done it. Why would you not fight the older guys with big names, then fight the guys around the same age as you when all of y'all are in your prime? Technically, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney was gonna wait to fight, but they made it right now because the fans were like, "Oh, y'all guys are scared. Ryan's scared, then Haney scared." They're like, "Okay, we'll just fight then." And you see how quick that went away? Nobody's now they're saying guys are scared of rematches. Like, bro, you can never win with these guys. But then they'll sit up here and say, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't do the thing where certain guys, and then we're talking about young guys, you know what I'm saying? So we putting pressure on Benavidez to do something that Canelo's supposed to be doing. That's why I said Floyd Mayweather should have never fought Canelo. Why did Floyd Mayweather fight Canelo? So Canelo could fight Triple G 3 times? No, sir. That's why I'm giving Tank Davis pressure now. And then you got fans in America saying, well, I know y'all been criticizing Canelo for the past 10 years, but if you say anything about Tank, you a hater. Bro, you don't get up out of here. These folks were talking about Ali, Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, and been making money off of for the past 30 years. I'm finna speak the truth. I don't care how your feelings is. If you don't feel me, you ain't got no feelings. Because I say truth. But yeah, the Benavidez situation, that's all I was saying, 3V. Because I heard some people saying yesterday, oh yeah, Benavidez ducking Morrell. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? The ducking stuff, like Turkey Al-Sheikh already exposed into the ducking stuff. So the people, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The people who still be saying the ducking stuff, that's guys who's showing up to boxing recently and they don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They opening up a Marvel comic book trying to figure out who the characters is. Like, oh yeah, Spider-Man. Like, bro, they don't even know what's going on. Like, we on Spider-Man 4 and these dudes on the first one. So that's what's going on in boxing right now. Morrell, 10 fights? Really? On what planet? What am I supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I only like go hard for the guys who actually have resumes like that. You can find somebody who's not a top of the line guy, but he's decent. But Morrell's still developing though. To be honest, he'll get in the ring. He's not scared of anything like that. But a lot of these guys not in their prime yet. Like even Morrell, like I'm gonna tell you the truth. When people wanted Morrell to fight Benavidez, he's gotten bigger since then. So if he would have fought Benavidez 2 years ago, he wasn't even in his prime, and he's not the size he is now. So he's still growing. So that fight wouldn't have made sense. So that's how I was looking at it. Like he was a skinny guy like 2 years ago, very skinny, but now he's got muscle. He's one of the bigger guys. He's like almost bigger than Berlanga. Him and Berlanga's pretty big. He's about bigger than Berlanga right now. But yeah, that's the only reason. But I had seen a lot of people saying that. But maybe that's a good narrative to actually promote the fight. I don't think that's maybe that's a good thing to push. I wouldn't disagree with that if people want to say that. That's a way you still got to promote a fight these days. It's been going on for years, so I understand what you're saying, 3V. But as far as the pressure for Morrell, I think Morrell got plenty of fights. I think he definitely got plenty of fights. I think he just got tired of waiting. He's already growing, and I said last year, like Benavidez is the big fight. He's eventually gonna be the big fight. Right now, all the big names associated around 68, 75, they're linked to Benavidez mostly. If it's not a Canelo fight, people want to see Benavidez fight Bitterbill, Bivol, Morrell, possibly Berlanga in the future if he comes to 75. So it's a lot of guys that want to see him fight. They want to see him fight guys at cruiserweight, possibly Zerto before he retires. So it's a lot of things. Benavidez got like 8 big fights he can make right now without Canelo. So he's not ducking anybody. Like I'm saying, he's the big. I'm giving you sauce right now. He's the big fight right now. Canelo, he needs Crawford. If he don't take the Benavidez fight, he needs Crawford more than Crawford needs him. Crawford can go fight Tim Tszyu right now, and everybody gonna tune in. So Crawford got options. Him and Benavidez, they got a lot of options. Because of what Charlo and Canelo did. When Charlo held up 54, that gave Terrence Crawford all these options at 54 now. Now he got 3 or 4 fights he can make. And then when Canelo was doing that 68, that kind of helped Benavidez. And now he's going on to 75. And he can fight the winner of Bivol and Bitterbill. But I told people last year though, Canelo is gonna basically cost. I put that video like a year ago, but he's gonna cost Benavidez 2-time undisputed. He could have been undisputed at 68 and 75. But that's how fast history gets wiped out. That's why I don't really crown these. I don't really crown these guys. These guys are destroying boxing history. So with Canelo fighting Munguia instead of Benavidez, now Benavidez can't be 2-time undisputed. So, and Canelo knows that. He's pretty smart. If I know that, he knows that. But yeah, speaking of Benavidez, a lot of people feel like Benavidez is gonna take a loss this weekend, tomorrow actually. They feel like Vos is too much. I heard a lot about sparring. To be real with you, I don't really look into guys getting beat up and sparring that much. Unless it's certain cases. But overall, I don't really look at those type of things. It matters sometimes, but not really. But with Benavidez, he sparred Vosic before. People say he gave him a hard time. That was one of the hardest guys he fought, everything like that. But that's not gonna be an easy fight in my mind. I feel like Vosic can actually hold his own. Because I'm not saying that he's just I don't know as far as if he's the same guy as he was before, but like I'll give an example. Like Maris Breedis, I didn't know that he was gonna come in shape and ready the way he was against Jai Patai a couple of weeks ago on the Tyson Fury card. He hadn't fought in like 2 years. And the way he fought on that card, if he was locked in. So I don't know if it's gonna be a situation like that. Then Benavidez is moving up, and we got a Ukrainian guy. He can box very well. He only has one loss. Against a guy who's basically one of the best light heavyweights ever. So it's got Benavidez in a tight situation. But I got Benavidez winning this fight, not just because the sparring or anything like that, just because Benavidez has been getting better. He's a student of the game. I know a lot of people was making fun of him being drunk, but if you ever look at him or his Instagram or anybody associated with him, he's always in the gym. Like, bro is always in the gym. I hear people now talking about, yeah, Benavidez got fast hands. Like, bro, he's always had fast hands. Like, he's been a problem. I'm telling you. He sparred all these guys because he's trying to be the best. I heard recently that Canelo actually turned down a sparring session for Benavidez. They was actually supposed to spar a while ago, and I guess Canelo called his people and canceled, and didn't end up sparring him. He sparred Kyron Davis though. He sparred Kyron Davis after Benavidez fought Kyron Davis. So Canelo's always trying to figure out how good somebody is. Same way with Tank Davis. And I'm gonna give y'all a hint. That's why Frank Martin did the same thing. He was like, okay, let me go ahead and get a sparring partner that Tank Davis done had before. Pick his brain to see, since Canelo and Tank and all these guys do the same thing. They do it all the time. They want to see how good somebody is, so they could go get a guy, spar a guy that somebody fought, see how good you can fight them, everything like that. That's why they kind of record everything, so they can go back and kind of compare. Like, okay, how did I do against the guy? People don't think that goes on, but it goes on. No stone goes unturned, especially in boxing. So yeah, and then people say, yeah, well, Vozick, he's a guy that is affiliated with. People been calling him Canelo's sparring partner, and saying he was under Eddie Reynoso and everything like that. I don't know the connections as far as all that, but what I do know is Benavidez is a hard fight for anybody at 75. So, and we already know that. But I definitely got him winning. But a lot of people picking Vozick to win. It's like 50-50. I'm being honest. A lot of people picking him. I don't know if it's because they want to see Benavidez lose or but Vozick only got one loss, so it's not a bad pick. Anybody will tell you that, but I feel like Benavidez is gonna be locked in. Not sure if he's gonna get a knockout, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. At this time right now, Benavidez, he's been on a tear. I think Caleb Plant would have actually got knocked out if Benavidez wouldn't have had that bad referee. Oh my God. Bro, I tried to watch that fight like 2 or 3 more times. I can't do it, man. That referee was bad, man. We're talking about the holding. And I'm not saying anything because Caleb Plant did an excellent job clinching and everything else. He actually did an excellent job. He did an excellent job. He fought like a warrior. But it's kind of hard. It takes away from me actually trying to figure out, because that fight and his last 2 fights don't really help you that much as far as trying to figure out what's gonna go on in this fight. But I just know he's been getting better. He looked like he was good on weight as far as yesterday. He was eating, drinking, so he's doing enough. A lot of people say he looks lean. He's been in the gym, you know what I'm saying? He's been working. That's probably why he was so drunk, to be honest with you, because being dehydrated and just being in the gym like that, probably having enough water in his system. But he's gonna have a tough fight, man. I feel like it can go the distance. If Bozic goes out there and moves, he's a very slick fighter. Moves well, got good ring generalship. He can move, dip under punches, move lateral, change levels. It's kind of hard to really, it's kind of hard to punch him, especially if you're aiming for the head. So with Benavidez, he goes to the body a lot. That's not gonna be a problem. But I don't know. I get the feeling that Vos is one of those guys that's a bad sparring guy. Like he's not that good at sparring, but in a real fight, he locks in. It's a lot of people like that. So I definitely feel like that's gonna play a part. But Boza, he's an animal, man. He doesn't really hold back. He doesn't hold back. He's definitely an animal. And he feels like he can beat Benavidez. He feel like he's being overlooked. He feel like Benavidez overlooking him. Teddy Atlas feels like Boza is gonna win. He used to train him, so I don't know if that's because of the reason, but Teddy Atlas gave some good reasons why he think he'll win. And I'm a huge proponent of Benavidez's style and everything else, but I can see why people say that. You know what I'm saying? Ukrainian fighters are very difficult to beat. Very difficult. And he did a good job against Beterbiev. If he wouldn't have he kind of fought similar to what Marcus Brown did. So if he can go 12 rounds like that, but he hasn't been in the ring in a while. But some guys, they have flashbacks. So he might have a flashback, but I'm not really thinking that's gonna happen. And that weigh-in is coming on soon. But overall, as far as the Tank Davis fight, I'm gonna get to the Matias fight last because I gotta go back over some things. But the Tank Davis fight, man, I feel like right now, oh yeah, I forgot that Mexayon fight too, Mark Mexayon. But the Tank Davis fight, I feel like Tank Davis gonna come out aggressive, but he's gonna try to watch his steps as far as how he's moving. It might be a situation where, in my eyes, I feel like he's gonna try to fight Frank Martin like he did Gamboa. But people gotta understand, man, and there's no knock against Tank Davis. But Gamboa lasted a long time on that Achilles. When he tore that Achilles against Tank Davis, he lasted a long time. And we gotta understand, like, Tank could have pushed him, and Gamboa could have fell back. He had no leverage on his legs. If you look at Gamboa, he literally had to like grab Tank to kind of rebalance himself. And I don't know if people know this, and I thought about this recently. Frank Martin is an excellent wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So for him to grapple and grab and clinch, that's gonna be an advantage him. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Because if y'all look at the Tyson Fury fight, and I don't want to get off subject, but this makes sense. And Ngannou, he was throwing Tyson Fury off of him pretty easy. So those guys who used to wrestle, especially like a Frank Martin, he's already a strong guy. And Tank, he tends to clinch a lot. I don't know if people know that, but he'll throw 2 or 3 punches, and he'll wrap up or grab you around your waist. And even when Frank Martin said yesterday in the press conference, Tank Davis had me in a headlock. Now, mind you, Frank Martin's a guy who used to wrestle. So why does Tank Davis have him in a headlock during sparring? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, whoa. So it's gonna be a lot of clinching going on. And I feel like if I want to give Frank Martin anything, that's definitely gonna be an advantage for him. And Tank tends to clinch a lot. I'll probably put a stat up later on. I'll probably watch some clips later on, but I'm gonna go back to the Eastside Cruz fight, and I'm gonna go back to the fight I just mentioned, because I feel like in those 2 fights he clinched a lot. I wasn't really paying attention to it much, but I was realizing after a while, I'm like, so is Eastside Cruz starting these clinches, or? And if you look back, Eastside Cruz wasn't clinching that much against Rolly. So he doesn't initiate these clinches. And that's one thing I think people overlook. A lot of people think that Tank Davis sits back and punches like Manny Pacquiao. That ain't his style of punching, brother. If you think Tank Davis sit there and bounce on his toes and throws multiple jabs and combinations like Manny Pacquiao, that ain't it. Wrong guy. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it. And a lot of people kind of thinking of him fighting like that. I'm like, nah. That's definitely not how he fights. So with him being able to clinch and turn people and try to push guys into a corner, he's on the ropes a lot. You got to realize he's caught people against the ropes. You know, he likes to fight close to the ropes. Most of his knockouts is by the ropes most of the time. So he likes to work off those corners, angles. He likes to work off the back foot. He likes to have guys walking the punches. Frank Martin's not going to be chasing him in the ring. So it's going to be a different kind of fight than what I'm expecting. You know, I'm going to just be real with y'all. If you're a betting person, I wouldn't be mad at looking towards that direction as far as Frank Martin. I'm just going to be honest with you. This is a truth channel. This not no cap channel. And I like Tank Davis. But from what I heard Tank Davis said yesterday before I got on this live, Tank Davis said Frank Martin, a very good fighter. He earned this spot to get here. He said this right after him and Frank Martin was yelling yesterday. He said Frank Martin, a very good fighter. He earned this spot to get here. He said, I think he like top 10, top 5. But he was like, yeah, I think he top 10 right now. And everything else. He was giving a lot of compliments. He was like, no, he earned this spot to get here. He said this, his exact words was, Frank Martin fought great competition. I'll put this back. I'm gonna say this again. After he said that Frank Martin's sparring partners was trash, he went into an interview and said Frank Martin has fought great competition. So the guy that Shakur Stevenson fighting, the Artem guy that I was saying that he the real deal, Tank Davis think that guy's a great fighter. Just letting it be known like that. But you'll have Tank Davis fans going here and be like, nah, that dude trash. Frank Martin ain't fought nobody. Well, Tank Davis says that Frank Martin fought great competition and he earned his spot. And he did. He beat two guys last year that was top 5, top 10. I think it's top 10. I think Artem might have been 6, so it might be top 10. But he fought 2 top 10 guys yesterday. I mean, last year. And most of these guys wasn't even a lot of the guys at 135 only fought one time last year. Because, you know, Devin Haney, all them guys, they got out of the division after the Lomachenko and Tank Davis fight. They was going to 140. Then Teofimo, he went to 140. I think he was at 140 in the Sandor Martin fight too, so not really sure with that right now. I don't want to say nothing wrong. But yeah, he gave Frank Martin some huge compliments because I was basically done listening to everything. Because he went up there and said everything I basically knew already. But one thing that people overlook, and it's crazy, bro. People said, I seen people make 100. I seen hundreds of videos on all kind of platforms. I wasn't even looking for talking about Tank Davis making Frank Martin flinch. Everybody said, man, Frank Martin flinch. I'm like, bro, did y'all hear when Tank Davis just said that Frank Martin hurt him with a good shot and sparring again? He caught him with a good shot. I don't know what caught me with a good shot mean. I don't know what that means. Like, technically, that can be anything. I don't know what Tank Davis getting caught with a good shot mean. What does that mean? Maybe it mean different from him. You know, usually somebody just say, oh, somebody just turned my head and caught me in the jaw and that was it. So I don't know what him getting caught with a good shot means. And how long he was in the ring, I don't know any details. I just know Frank Martin said he got in the ring playing, thinking it was a game, got clipped, started to grab, legs started shaking, and then Tank Davis said, my legs wasn't shaking. You caught me with a good shot. That happens in boxing. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, man. Hold Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. We talking about flinching? And y'all didn't hear what Tank Davis just said? Like, these people gonna miss a good fight. And they don't even know the details going into it. This is extreme. This is big news. He basically just told the whole crowd of people, the whole world, hey man, he caught me with a good shot. And everybody like, yeah, man, Frank Martin ain't got no power. So Tank Davis is a liar? Tank Davis just said he got a brick hand. Like, what are we talking about? I don't understand, bro. I'm confused, man. These guys giving us great details, and we just talking about flinching. Tank Davis said he got a hard left hand. Then come to find out, I think Frank Martin's right-handed. So what? We talking about he got power in both hands, or what's going on? And then it's just a whole bunch of details coming out, man. That's crazy. People overlooking that. I was like, they overlook all this good information Tank Davis giving out. And they asked Tank Davis strictly, like, are you gonna win? What's going on? He's like, I don't know for sure. Anything can happen. I'm like, whoa. Tank, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? He got me like, cause he's saying stuff that's kind of where my mind is like, man, I don't know, man. Maybe Frank Martin got a chance. He's saying, I don't know. Frank Martin got a chance. I'm talking about after he got off the stage and everything. You know what I'm saying? And he just keeping it real. I respect that. I ain't got no problem with that. That's why I'm not trying to get him too hard. When I criticize the Frank Martin and Tank Davis fight, it's really to poke at the fans that were saying Frank Martin is a duck. Because if you're going to fight Tank Davis, how is that ducking? You know what I'm saying? Me choosing Tank Davis over anybody is never going to be a duck in boxing. So that's why I be poking fun at a lot of this stuff, because, a lot of people didn't think that Frank Martin actually deserved this position. Tank Davis did. I did. So my mind kind of worked like his does. I felt like Frank Martin did enough. Beating 2 top 10 135s is tough. Then the guy you beating finna fight Shakur, and he's a tough guy. So it's all gonna add up, but it's gonna be a tough fight. I'm telling you. People worrying about flinching, they're gonna miss out on a good. These guys, they give you good promotion right now. I'm telling y'all, if you go back and look at the press conference, they gave out good promotion and people is focusing on the flinching. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. My mind was blown last night. I'm just like, Tank Davis giving out all these great details. He don't got Mayweather around. He's finally explaining, speaking his mind and just telling everybody everything that happened in sparring, and Frank Martin's a threat and everything else. And people just like, nah, I want to talk for Tank. I feel like Frank Martin is this, and this. I'm like, okay, bro. All that does is make people not want to watch the fight then. Because all you telling people is, oh, yeah, Tank Davis picking a guy that he think he can knock out. Like, what? You supposed to pick a guy who's difficult to knock out. So I think he did that more so, and people not giving credit for that. They're kind of discrediting, trying to be, they over fanning. They're trying to discredit a guy that's the champion picked. I told y'all Frank Martin was legit, man. Tank Davis confirmed it. I know a lot of people saying, well, man, these guys out here fanboying for Frank Martin. Bro, Tank Davis just gave Frank Martin all the credit in the world. Told y'all. The sparring match went exactly like I did. All this is about a sparring match. Telling y'all, he got it on video. I know his homeboys have seen it. I know he had his people in the gym. I know he had people that had to break it up. Even Frank Martin coach said that, yeah, me and Mayweather broke the fight up. None of these other guys was in the gym when that happened. They wasn't around. He said me and Mayweather broke the fight up. And I got some other details about what else he said too. I don't want to put too much out right now. But because he gave out some good information. But yeah, he said me and Mayweather broke the fight up though. He said these other guys weren't in there. That explains a lot. So my thing is this right here. Is it a good idea for Tank Davis to kind of beef with Floyd Mayweather right now? And Floyd Mayweather is a guy, and I'll drop this hint too. You know, Floyd, he gave Frank Martin some good advice after Frank Martin fought Tank Davis. So after Frank Martin fought Tank Davis that one time, because Frank Martin wasn't supposed to fight Tank Davis. He didn't have any gear. He had to use Floyd Mayweather stuff to spar Tank Davis. So Floyd gave him advice, and now he's in the position he in right now. So obviously Floyd Mayweather seen something in Frank Martin where he like, okay, buddy, the real deal. And I know Floyd's not directly behind all this stuff going on right now, but I'm pretty sure he played a part in Frank Martin trying to get an opportunity to fight. Or something happened. And I'll give y'all a hint. This all allegedly. But y'all notice how it's all allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Just to be real with y'all. I'm just gonna make a scenario up. This all satire. But this is a scenario I think actually happened. I just came up with this really, but not really. But I feel like overall, Tank Davis, he knows that, you know, guys got certain access probably to sparring tapes. And for Frank Martin and him to have a hard fight on the sparring tape, and, you know, Frank Martin to be making some noise out here, and if him and Floyd is, you know, going back and forth, if Tank and Floyd is going back and forth, and let's just say Floyd had access to the Frank Martin match, the Frank Martin fight, he could put the Frank Martin fight out, the sparring fight out. You know, if I was Floyd and I said, yeah, I'm mad at Tank, I'll put the Frank Martin tape out and show everybody that it was a close fight or whatever happened. He could have did that. So maybe that was pressure for Tank to be like, nah, I'm gonna just fight him in the ring so I can prove this and shut it down forever. I'm just being real with y'all. I'm just being real. Because why would you go back and fight a guy that you said caught you with a good shot, what, 3 or 4 years ago, and then it's right around the time that you got all these other options, but it's right around the time that you and Floyd kind of falling out. So was you scared that Floyd was gonna do you like he did? Well, allegedly. I don't know if Floyd did it, but was you scared that the sparring match was gonna come out the same way Devin Haney's did before his fight? Y'all seen how that sparring tape came out with Devin Haney? Maybe Tank thought, well, it can happen to me, so let me go ahead and fight Frank Martin in the gym. Because I still ain't seen no sparring match. I've been asking for that sparring video for months. I thought journalist guys and reporters was gonna come out here and actually say something about it. What's crazy is I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna drop a hint on y'all too. What's the answer, bit dog? I want to hear it. But I'm gonna tell y'all a hint real quick though. Y'all notice how the last 9 months, all these guys acting like they don't know nothing about no sparring video between Frank Martin and Tank Davis. Now all of a sudden, as soon as the fight get here, you hear reporters saying, so what happened in sparring? Man, y'all been knew about that sparring, man. I told y'all these dudes be capping out here, man. Hit the like button, please. These dudes be capping out here. I told y'all they been knew about that sparring video. Y'all been hearing these guys all week. So what happened in sparring? They been knew about that sparring video. Yeah, man, that's proof that I told y'all they don't like me putting out these facts. And no, I wasn't in there. It was just my third eye, and that's on everything. I know what the room looked like after it got spun, and I seen how the energy was. I seen how Frank Martin was looking. He didn't look like he just got hands put on him. People say he got dropped and beat up in sparring. Tank Davis ain't never said he beat up Frank Martin in sparring. He ain't never said it. I always told people that. I said, why would he be fighting the guy that he beat up in sparring? Doesn't make sense. He had trouble with him. And it's sparring, so it don't really matter for real. But yeah, he had a little bit of trouble with him. He got hot in the kitchen for a minute. He got caught. But I didn't know that Frank Martin was that new of a boxer. I didn't know he was that new of a boxer though. But I'm a huge fan of Tank Davis though. Just to be honest with y'all. I was following Haney like probably 10 years ago, but 9 or 10 years ago. But the last 5 or 6, I've been rolling with Tank. I don't choose, but I'm just saying as far as who I feel like is just at that time. But yeah, Tank, he gotta prove himself this weekend. It's a lot of fans waiting on him to slip, so he gotta be at his best. Oh yeah, he does. He does. He does. He in shape, man. Tank Davis in shape right now. I haven't seen Tank Davis in shape like this in a minute. Yeah, Tank Davis in shape. He's definitely in shape. Yeah, he's very comfortable. Oh no, I know why he chose Frank Martin. No, I know why he chose Frank Martin. He chose Frank Martin because that sparring video. Yeah, that was my question, really. Like, but yeah, he chose him because that sparring video though. That sparring video was a big deal. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, Tank ain't got no real fans out here, man. Tank out here giving these fans good information. I'm talking about these folks talking about Tank the face of boxing. Y'all ain't gonna talk about him saying he got caught with a good punch. That's a good storyline to promote the fight. It's a reason why he said it. I mean, he trying to promote the fight just like everybody else. I can't believe these fans out here. I'm disappointed, man. These people be jumping in people's comments all the time, and they be on Twitter yelling about Tank. Tank's sitting out here giving out this good information. What do you think the reason is? Shoot, you probably right. We don't know for sure. But I'm gonna tell you right now, though. I'm gonna tell you right now why my reason is different, 3V. I said this last year. I'm telling you, I said this last year, like 2023. Like, this was one of my first videos. Matter of fact, before I posted Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson, I posted a video about Frank Martin. He was one of my first videos on this channel. And I got like almost 2,000 videos on here. I'm telling you, everything I've been saying, bro. Look at what Floyd Mayweather just did last night. Floyd Mayweather just fired his boss. He just fired his boss, and they got mad because I said Floyd Mayweather was trash a couple of months ago because they said. So all these guys, who was they? What you mean they? They who? A3V. Who you mean they? But Floyd Mayweather, he just fired ever since I put that video out about Floyd Mayweather. People are considering me a hater. People was getting on here. Oh, you a hater? If I'm a hater, why is Tank Davis saying the same thing about Floyd Mayweather? Why is all his fighters leaving him right now? Why did he just his promoter Leonard Ellaby or CEO, whatever it was, he just basically got replaced? Floyd ain't got no friends, man. Floyd loyal to Floyd right now. And people like, oh, well, you hating? Okay. Well, the news coming out now. I said that 4 months ago. Even the Frank Martin thing, I put the Frank Martin live video out. Just go down my lives. I did that like 2 or 3 months ago. Who did Frank fight for? Oh, Earl Spence. Yeah. Well, I knew that was the reason why the fight was gonna get made, bro. See, I already knew that PBC was gonna help Earl Spence make a fight with Tank Davis for Frank Martin because Frank Martin been putting the work in. So I already knew that was gonna happen after the Shakur Stevenson thing. But I'm gonna tell you right now though, if it was Devin Haney that was saying, "Hey, I'm finna fight Frank Martin at 135. I ain't finna fight Lomachenko," people would have lost their mind. So yeah, I lost a lot of respect for these fans out here. A lot of fans been capping out here getting exposed. That's why it's good to be quiet. Because if you notice my channel, bro, I don't just say stuff on my channel. I've been sitting back learning for a long time, but a lot of these fans be capping, man. If that would have been Devin Haney fight Frank Martin tonight, tomorrow, people would say he fighting bums. He ducking. If that would have been Lomachenko, probably they would have said Lomachenko ducking. Let's just keep it 1,000. If Lomachenko would have fought Frank Martin, they would have said he ducking. That's how bad it is. They would have said Lomachenko, and I'm not even a huge super Lomachenko fan, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000. They would have said, yeah, Loma Duck is Tank. He fighting Frank Martin. So America need to start keeping it 1,000, man. It ain't 1,000 no more as far as the boxing knowledge. Everybody picking sides, man. Oh yeah. Oh, I pick up on everything. I don't really my talking points ain't really about the fighters. I don't really go at the fighters, I really go at the fans. No, the fighters, all they do is fight. You know what I'm saying? That's their job. Oh yeah. I know. I already know. I already know what you're saying. It's 3V. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. No, I think Tank doing a good job promoting the fight though. This Tank first time actually like going out here promoting the fight on his own. You know he got his own promotional company, so it's probably gonna be Tank Davis style of promoting the fight. So I think he's doing an excellent job promoting the fight. To be honest with you, just to be unbiased, because he's giving out all the information. Tank Davis making me look good. He's saying everything I said on my live. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really a guy who follow Tank Davis every day. I haven't been checking on Tank Davis for the last couple of years like that. So for me to just come up with the stuff I've been saying, just off of the outside looking in, yeah, I'm glad he said everything he did. I respect what he said yesterday. And I had a feeling that most of the stuff he does online is promotion and just, jokes and banner. But some of the stuff I don't like. I'm just keep it 1,000. But overall, I think he's a good guy, especially a lot of stuff he does. Even with the situation with Floyd Mayweather, Tank could have been ran away from Floyd and just been like, nah, I'm not messing with Floyd. But even when Floyd used to be on the side of the ropes in the fights yelling at him, Tank put up with a lot of stuff. He could have been like, nah, I ain't listening to you. Get away. But no, he used to listen to, Tank was trying to play both sides, bro, trying to listen to his trainer and listen to Floyd Mayweather, who's on the ground, and then your trainer's up there in the corner trying to tell you what to do. So, a lot of those guys, that situation, it was, a lot of Tanking them, bro. They really showed Floyd a lot of respect, to be real with you, to say unbiasedly, because they could have been said, get Floyd away from here. We doing this on our own. But he had a lot of input. Go back and look at that Barrios fight. Go back and look at that Eastside Cruz fight. Go back and look at that Gamboa fight. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather was. Yeah, something like that, big bro. But Floyd was but Tank, he showed Floyd a lot of love, man. He didn't really cause I look at it's a lot of I'm telling y'all, I've been looking at things different since the early days. The only thing I wanted to see Tank Davis do over the years was see how he goes about his relationship with Floyd as far as growing over the years. He did a good job listening to everything he told him to do. And then I wanted to see if he could stay in shape and keep his weight down. And he kept his weight down lately. So that's all I've been really looking at as far as the talent and the fights and everything. I know he gonna do all that, but it was more so the outside stuff. But he been doing a good job. Still listen to his trainer. He's not one of those guys who think he knows more than his trainer. He don't try to show his trainer up. He don't have a close fight or something like that. Then say, you know what? I need a new trainer. My trainer ain't good enough. So, I respect a lot of stuff that Tank does. He do the stuff that he does. I can separate the two. You know what I'm saying? I know when he does real man stuff. So he got people that actually came along with him the whole time. And he still was able to bring in Floyd and say, okay, Floyd, I'll let you take over the instructions and give me advice from the side and everything else. So yeah, I got a lot of respect for Tank. As far as that, but as far as some other stuff, I keep it 1,000 as far as everything though. But yeah, but like he said though, Frank Martin's gonna be a tougher fight than yeah, everybody come from the bottom though. Shoot, I came from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like I came from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? All my aunties and grandma, uncles, all they bathroom was a wood a shed outside. They didn't have no real bathrooms. I came from the bottom. Everybody came from the bottom where I'm from. Shoot, of course he been good. Tank been getting money since. Yeah, everybody come from the bottom mostly, especially if you're in America. Bro, most of the time, if you look at in history, bro, most of the people who stay in a certain country, whether it's over here, whether it's Spain or Africa, if you from a certain country, most of the time you ain't got it bad. Especially if you're a citizen. It's like that. Oh, squirrels? Man, I heard something about that recently. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody said that tastes good, but I can't eat no squirrel. I mean, if I had to, it probably would go down. But I heard people eat frog legs and everything. So, but yeah, Tank absolutely came from the bottom though. He did a great job, man. I ain't gonna lie. Because if you look at, and there's no disrespect to nothing, but you know, Tank got some hood fans, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't care nothing about boxing. They just like, well, Tank, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? He a huge inspiration. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he definitely can have a lot of distractions around him. So yeah, I don't go too hard on bro. He do a good job, man. He's carrying the sport as best as he can right now. As far as he's not moving as fast as we want him to, but it's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen soon. I'm telling y'all, but I'm not. Oh, it ain't no. You said you tired of the cap and fake beast. I don't know. I don't know if this is a fake beef. I wouldn't say this is a fake beef. I feel like I feel like him and Frank Martin, you know, they cool. They like each other as far as like, you know, they respect each other, but I don't know. You know, sometimes when you'd have had like a little rival or something like that, this might be a Danielson situation. This might be like Karate Kids. You said it's fake? Yeah, I feel like it would too. Yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like that too. And I respect Earl Spence too, man. Earl Spence moving like a yeah, Tank got the best timing in the game. When it comes to timing and accuracy. But yeah, yeah, he said timing the fight always before a game. Yeah, he true. That's right. He trying to get in his head though. Tank ain't. He trying to get in his head, really. But I know Tank moved like this. As far as all the stuff he was doing yesterday, um, making him flinch, everything like that. I actually thought he was gonna push him yesterday. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna make a highlight tape of the guys Tank that pushed at the weigh-in. Tank pushed so many guys at the weigh-in, man. It's hilarious. That's why I was surprised when Devin Haney got fined. I'm like, bro, y'all fined Devin Haney for pushing Lomachenko? I'm like, Tank pushed everybody. Man, Tank pushed Eastside Cruz. Eastside Cruz was looking like, bro, what is this dude doing? And I was looking like, bro, why is he pushing Eastside Cruz? He don't even speak English. Tank shoved him. Like, get away from me. Yeah, that was hilarious. I'm trying to see that fight again, though. I ain't gonna lie. You said Devin should be a follow. I don't think he ain't no follow. He ain't no follow. I could tell you one way I know he ain't no follow. He's not a follower because nobody else is trying to put on big fights right now. You know what I'm saying? If I was him, to be honest with you, you know what I would do? I would fall all the way back. I'd be like, you know what, man, I'm gonna let y'all, because what I learned, like I said the other day, ain't nobody trying to call out Ryan Garcia right now. That one thing I realized the other day. I said, dang, nobody's trying to fight Ryan Garcia. I said, if Ryan Garcia can't get a fight right now. Oh yeah. That's just his swag. That's all it is. That's just his swag. That's just his swag. That's just his swag. A lot of these guys really get the leg tattoo stuff from guys like Odell Beckham and stuff like that. I know a lot of people think that Tank Davis was the first one to get a leg tattoo, but Odell Beckham, he was one of the first guys to show off the leg tattoos and have it on Instagram, taking pictures of getting Tupac and Michael Jackson and all that stuff on your legs. So he was the first one to really start doing that, as far as I seen. If you go back and you can look it up, guys in the NBA wasn't tattooing their legs before Odell Beckham was doing it. Trust me, I know. It's a guy that was in my neighborhood. He tattooed Kevin Durant, Jamal Crawford, all these guys. I know Kevin Durant ain't got no tattoos on his arm, but Kevin Durant's whole chest and back is covered. And that guy, he did my brother's tattoo. So I know the guy who been tattooing all the rappers and NBA players for like the last 20, 30 years. So yeah, they get those tattoo ideas from really from Buddy, but mostly from them Odell Beckham with them leg tattoos. You gotta realize, bro, 20 years ago, Mike Tyson got a tattoo on his face, and everybody looked at it like he was crazy. You think about it today, you'll be like, oh, bro, I remember when Mike Tyson got a tattoo on his face. All these people that's walking around right now, that's acting like they just pro this and pro that, and oh, we like this, and I'm pro this and pro that. Bro, they didn't like none of that stuff when Mike Tyson got that tattoo on his face. People thought he was insane. Some people wanted him just away from them. That's over with. These fighters ain't doing none of that. When guys taking PEDs, first of all, I'm gonna tell you, the bad stuff is what run the sport. Guys taking PEDs. I got a video I could have put out today about guys who took PEDs, and then all the guys they fought, they faces swollen up on the side. Like Martinez just fought Cardova, and Cardova looked like he got a ball of paper in his side of his face. He looked like he got a tennis ball in his mouth. And the dude was on PEDs. He could have killed that dude. That's the only bad stuff that's going on in boxing. Dudes is really getting killed in boxing right now. There's people really dying right now. It's like 3 or 4 people that died this year. That's the only bad stuff that's going on in boxing. People is getting killed for real in boxing. Really losing their life. If Ryan Garcia would have been swinging, like if he would have just kept swinging that whole time and just letting his hands go instead of doing them shaking his legs the last couple of rounds, he could have went in there and killed Devin Haney. And Devin Haney trying to give these people a good fight. Wouldn't be me. The next time I step in the ring, I'm gonna be on every PED there is. Nah, that's the only bad stuff that's going on in the sport. He could have killed that dude. Now, but I see what's going on now. I had to have a speech about that a couple of weeks ago. Now, never in boxing until last year, really last year, but this year too, I never heard anybody bragging about a boxer losing his life in the ring until people said it recently. I ain't gonna say what fan base it was, but y'all know pretty much who it is. The boxer that is one of the boxers who fight pretty soon. You said you think he was hurt. I'm just explaining to you. The way his face was fat on the side, it's been about 3 or 4 guys who was on drugs that almost killed some guys. The guys they was on PEDs against, they almost killed them recently. Recently. We don't even know it. Devin Haney can go out there right now and get hit with one punch and just fall down. Right now. I saw the fight last night. Devin Haney can go out there right now and get hit with one punch and fall down. The sport getting a little serious, man. The bad stuff that's going on, that's it right there. I don't know about the weight cut, but I know Ryan Garcia punching him in his face the way he did, and another guy. I don't want to pull up his picture because I got the story coming up soon. But I just dropped the hint. But the way Cordova face was looking in that Martinez fight, then Martinez just popped for PEDs recently. Man, he could have killed that dude. If I was these other boxers, I'd get on PEDs and destroy these guys. And then somebody lose their life then let's see how serious it is. If I was Devin Haney, I'd be on PEDs my next fight. Suspend me, fine me, whatever you need to do. Give me what you gave old boy last time. I'll take Ostarine my next fight. I honestly would. At this point right now, that's the only answer. Everybody cool with it. I would take Ostarine my next fight. I'm like, okay, it ain't no big deal. Oh, okay. Cool. Let me go out here and take this then. Let's see how much pillow fist you had then. See, we don't want to have that conversation. That's why I ain't gonna never complain about somebody failing drug test no more. If they did, I'm gonna be like, why y'all bothering him? I'm dead serious. I would never talk about nobody failing a drug test ever again in sports. Yeah, Ryan Garcia always had a left hook, but Ryan Garcia also, but for the last 5 or 6 years, I ain't never told nobody, but I always felt like Ryan Garcia was on juicing. And bro, we got to understand, 2 guys that the Canelo was, all the guys that Canelo was around is popping for PEDs. Allegedly, not all of them, but a lot of them. Martinez is with Canelo, bro. That's a guy who's with Canelo right now. Martinez almost killed Cordova. Go back and look at Cordova's face. Cordova's face was swollen and was on PEDs. Talking about, yeah, I'm gonna move up now. I know you are gonna move up because you're being a weight bully. You use it. Yeah, people think Devin Haney's a weight bully. We got guys out here using PEDs to lose weight. So these guys using PEDs to be at a lower weight class. And then people say, well, I want you to fight your natural weight class. You want me to fight at my natural weight class, but we got guys taking PEDs to fight at a weight class that's not natural for them. So you trying to get me killed? That's why these fans tell me, oh yeah. And then I heard Tank saying, yeah, I don't like these guys. Man, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I got a picture of Tank Davis in my phone. This dude gotta be like 170. I found it last night. Dude had to be like 170. Tank like, yeah, man, I want guys to fight at their natural weight. Bro, I don't know how big you are, bro. You used to walk around like 150 at least. At least 150. So the natural weight thing, and we got to realize, and I don't want to embarrass no more boxers because I had to call some guys out recently. It's a lot of guys been talking foolish because a lot of fans don't know boxing like that. So a lot of these boxers just say anything. But a lot of people's favorite boxers, I don't care who it is. I won't call out no names, but a lot of these guys been in the same weight class 8 to 10 years. We got most of these guys that been talking and complaining and calling Devin Haney a weight bully. They've been in the same weight class for 10 years, man. Same weight class for 10 years. I literally looked up a guy. Same weight class. Talking about somebody ducking me. You been in the same weight class for the last 8 years and somebody ducking you? Why don't you move up? Everybody Benavidez just moved up. Why can Benavidez move up and get a big fight, but y'all can't? And then guys will be like, yeah, this guy's a weight bully. Not even the video of Regis. I'm glad you brought up Regis' name because I fried Regis a couple of weeks ago. Brother, Regis Prograis started, he was at like 150. Regis Prograis, he started his career at like 150. He came up fighting Earl Spence and all these guys. So he's in a whole nother generation calling guys weight bullies. Been in the same weight class for a whole 10 years. Talking about somebody a weight bully. I seen Triple G last night. He was at 150 for 20 years. Y'all might not believe that. Triple G was at 160 for like 20 years. Dude was at one weight class for 20 years, man. And then people want to disrespect Devin Haney. Like, bro, I can really like, nah, Devin Haney moves up. Devin Haney's at 140 right now. Possibly gonna go to 147 soon. That's 3 weight classes. Adrian Broner, he went from 135 to 140. I'll pull the stat up right now. I got it around here. Nah, everybody ain't doing it. Everybody ain't doing this. Nah. Regis Prograis would never go up from 135 to 147. He's not even going up from 140 to 147. Keith Thurman still ain't went up to 154 yet. He pulled out of the fight. He can't even make it through camp. Yeah, I mean, I just keep it 1,000. I'm not really I haven't really been to be honest with you, I was just kind of like, I was a big fan of Devin Haney when he was like younger, when he first started, like before he had his first fight. But lately I was like paying attention more to like guys like Tank, but nah, I know what Devin Haney actually does. Like, what are we talking about? He's moving up in weight classes. These guys are Keith Thurman been in the same weight class for 10 years. Regis Prograis, and who's the first guys to say something about Devin Haney? Some guys who've been in the same weight class for 10 years. It's embarrassing. America is embarrassing. This the only country we have. You see when Usyk won, you see how all the Ukrainian fighters like, yeah, congratulations, Usyk. You got all these guys over here. When Terrence Crawford win, they get mad and they act like the Grove sisters off Proud Family. These guys are just hating for no reason. Like in the background, just smirking and just all kind of stuff, just nasty attitude. But Usyk wins and he just get congratulated. But you got people over here, I don't understand it. Devin Haney's 25. Ryan Garcia is 25. Even though I know Ryan Garcia messed up, I've been giving him criticism, but at the same time, I'm gonna be 1,000. Ryan Garcia, if he would have lost that fight, everybody would have told him to retire. So why? I'm not making no excuse for it. I swear on everything, I'm not making an excuse for nothing. I'm being dead serious. If Ryan Garcia would have lost that fight, people weren't giving him a chance anyway. So of course he was gonna do what he did. Me being real, but no, he was wrong. But the fans, but for the fans to get behind him, he like, oh yeah. But he probably feel bad because he like, oh, if they would have just supported me from the beginning, I would have never did what I did. So I blame the fans all the way around, whether it goes for Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia. People put pressure on Ryan Garcia throughout the whole leading up to the fight. Oh, he need to pull out the fight. He's not in shape. He's not good enough. There's stuff going on. So yeah, the media and the fans ruined it. That's why these young guys, we won't even be able to see a rematch because the fans put so much pressure on them, and it was so much negative press before the fight. Everything was just, I don't want this fight to happen. Ryan's not good enough, and they trying to take advantage of him, blah, 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 blah. So all that stuff kind of backfired. But yeah, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia proved my point, though, as far as the big fights aren't happening because they took a lot of attention away. You said for Bud and Deb. If you look at the history of our country, we always got to pick sides. We always got to pick sides. Even with Canelo and Triple G, people felt like they had to pick sides. Well, some people, you know, the media, they still put Triple G on pound for pound after he lost to Canelo 2 or 3 times. But as far as the fans, they felt like they had to pick sides as far as, oh, if I'm, you know, I like Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. I was an Earl Spence fan before I was a Terrence Crawford fan. You know what I'm saying? But I picked Terrence Crawford to win because I knew what time it was. But with Devin Haney, you know, I was a Devin Haney fan way before Tank Davis. But I knew who Tank Davis was before he fought on the Mayweather card. So a lot of people don't know who Tank Davis. They don't know who Devin Haney is. A lot of people don't know who Devin Haney is. Like a lot of fans tell on themselves, bro. I'm gonna just keep it real. If fans was real big, if people was real big boxing fans, how did you not see Devin Haney with Floyd Mayweather all these years? I'm talking about all those years. You go back now, you see all the tape about Floyd Mayweather and Devin Haney. But back then, Devin Haney was with Floyd Mayweather the whole time. And people never knew who Devin Haney was. As soon as Tank Davis got on the McGregor card, people was like, oh, yeah, we know who Tank Davis is. Of course you do. He was just on the most popular pay-per-view of all time. What are we talking about? He was on the biggest pay-per-view of all time. Of course you know who Tank Davis is. I'm talking about Devin Haney. Do you know who he is? He was around before Tank Davis. They like, nah. But Floyd Mayweather was the biggest fighter in America for the past, 20, 30 years. So what are you talking about? You don't know who. How you not know who's around Floyd Mayweather? So I was confused, bro. That lets me know that people they haven't been following boxing as long as I have. Because if you think that Floyd Mayweather produces the best fighters, he didn't help create Tank Davis. He helped create not create, but he helped molded Devin Haney. Him and his father and Bill Haney and a lot of other people. Yoel Judah and a lot of other people, but mostly Floyd Mayweather was helping overall over the years. So why the diehard Floyd Mayweather fans that bought all these Pacquiao fights, Marquez and Berto and McGregor, why they don't know who Devin Haney is and he was around the whole time? And Floyd Mayweather been the biggest star in boxing history. So that let me know people ain't been watching boxing as long as I have. As far as in the background, you know, how they watch it every day now and they try to figure out the details about what's going on in the news. That's a new thing for them, but I've been on that. Yeah, I've been knew Devin Haney and Tank Davis fought. I seen the whole fight years ago. Like the real footage, I seen it. That's how I knew who Tank Davis was. Because after that, Tank Davis fought who Tank Davis fought after that? Shakur Stevenson. And then Shakur and I seen all those fights. Shakur and Devin. All those fights was good. I'm telling you, because I wasn't watching no kids spar back then. So for me to watch some kids sparring back then, it had to be some real good fights. Even though I was young too, I'm not saying they was kids compared to me. I'm saying it was some good fights. So I'm like, who is this Tank Davis guy? He's a beast. And then years later, bro, my family like, yeah, man, Tank Davis a beast. I'm like, I know, bro. I know. And then would call me a hater of Tank Davis. How I'm gonna be a hater? And I knew I was watching him before you even knew that he was around Floyd or anybody. Like, what are we talking about? But yeah, they do that though, man. That's why sometimes guys on YouTube get offended because it's like I've been watching Tank Davis for 10 years, and how you don't say I don't like him? You know what I'm saying? It's just that he's been around 10 years. Like after 10 years, the pressure it's gonna get real. But one thing I don't like in America that's going on, we got fans of Tank Davis running around acting like, well, you can criticize Canelo, but you can't criticize Tank Davis. Nah, we ain't doing that. No, sir. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Moving up to fight Mario Barrios, he gets all the credit in the world for doing that. Tank Davis absolutely does. But to be real with y'all, Mario Barrios was a guy I looked at like Frank Martin, like the guy who would fight anybody that people were sleeping on. He was one of my favorite fighters before Tank fought him. It's crazy that all that happened, but yeah, he was one of my favorite fighters. Mario Barrios a problem. But people will say now because Barrios beat Ugas, oh man, you know Barrios, he beat Ugas. Yeah, but he did. But what changed? Y'all didn't give Tank Davis credit for that win until he beat Ugas, though. That ain't how this goes. He was a good fighter before all that happened. That's why I'm saying, like, people try to count people's wins off of, oh, well, he had a big win against this guy, so that's good for Tank. Nah, bro. I mean, Barrios was a good fighter before then. He was a champion. He was a good fighter before then. So that don't make any sense, the way I looked at it. So I feel like a lot of times they late to the party, even with the Eastside Cruz situation. So in my situation, it's kind of like I told people before the Eastside Cruz fight. I said, hey man, this fight might go 12 rounds. This guy, I don't know if Tank Davis gonna knock this guy out. This is a pretty good guy. Oh man, he going to sleep, man. This dude a bum. He a bum. He ain't fought nobody. I don't even know nobody on his resume. I said, okay. And y'all know what happened after that. Y'all know what happened. And it was none of these people that was out here saying anything about that. And people don't even know it. Eastside Cruz replaced Rolly Romero. Tank was supposed to fight Rolly. And then around that same time, guess who was calling out Rolly and Teofimo Lopez? Devin Haney. He was calling out Rolly and Teofimo Lopez before Tank fought Eastside Cruz. That's when Tank fought Eastside Cruz, and then Devin Haney said, I'm gonna try to get Rolly fight now. What's up? Rolly ain't want no smoke. Obviously, Rolly know Devin Haney. Cause trust me, Devin Haney was going around sparring everybody back in the day. Like the way you gotta realize he fought Tank Davis at 16, so that just lets you know. And so when people came out and say, yeah, you know, Devin Haney be ducking. What? This dude fought Tank Davis for free at 16 years old and he's ducking? That don't make any sense. I ain't never understand that. I still would never understand that. Ain't no 16-year-old jumping in the ring with no Tank Davis when he's already, what, 20? Come on, man. And Tank Davis was cracking around that time. And a couple of years after that, he was, what, champion and everything by then. So, no, Devin always been fighting the best. That's why I said I don't know if people realize it, but it's going to be a lot. It might be somebody lose this weekend. We don't know. It could be somebody lose this weekend. It could be an off night. Because a lot of these guys who's going to the ring, whether it's Frank Martin or Liam Paro, man, look, I seen Liam Paro go out there and flatline Montana Love a couple of months ago. And I told everybody, hey, this Paro guy, because I like Australian fighters. Y'all might think Jeff Horn a bum, but Jeff Horn got a resume. Jeff Horn was fighting Tim Tszyu and Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. Jeff Horn got a resume. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be waiting on everybody else to be like, yeah, this guy's good. Nah, I seen people do that with Eastside Cruz. As soon as Eastside Cruz went 12 rounds with Tank, everybody like, yeah, he's a beast. For going 12 rounds with Tank? Why is Eastside Cruz a beast for going 12 rounds with Tank? So all Frank Martin got to do is go 12 rounds with Tank Davis, and he gonna be a beast? Somebody go 12 rounds with these other fighters, they a bum though. And then I'm offended, bro, by people posting Tank Davis knockout percentage. On this channel, you probably not gonna see, not knockout percentage, but talk about his knockouts. They're saying, oh, well, he ain't had to box this fight because he had to knock this guy out. Nah, that's excuses. Hey, man, we ain't finna do that. We're not finna do that. We got guys in America with 100% knockout rate. And then some of the guys who don't got 100% knockout rate, they was fighting guys 50, 60 pounds heavier than them. And we got guys at 135 and 130 and 122 crying about 2 pounds and 4 pounds. That ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how, and I like Tank. I'm not being people, everybody else being biased, because how's his knockouts count better than everybody else? How he get credit for his knockouts but nobody else do? Yeah, but if he can jab, if Paro can jab, it's gonna be a problem. I'm telling you, if Paro can jab and throw some combinations off of it, 3-punch combination, just anything. If he can keep it to about 3 punches consistently, yeah, he good. Because the thing about Matias is he's not gonna try to counter as far as like he'll try to get in between the punches, but he's not gonna try to go punch for punch. Not the way people think, you know what I'm saying? He will, but it's a certain way. Like he's gonna try to catch you in between punches while you trying to punch. That left hook he got serious too. So I feel like he's gonna try to walk Paro into a corner or against the ropes, or just try to cut the ring off a little bit. He can stick a move in the inside, but that's where Matias want to be at. So nah, he catch himself in there, he's done. He catch himself in the inside, he's done. I tried to figure that out today. Like, is there any way that he can fight in the inside and try to make? He don't got enough experience in there. Most of the guys he fought fight like him. I mean, I know I'm pretty sure they have some guys that he's ran across that have a similar style like the high guard, but yeah, Matias, he got off rhythm punches. He don't really punch. Like, he don't go punch for punch a lot of times, so his timing is way off. So it's like it throws people off. He'll throw a punch at the weirdest time, but that left hook he got is pretty serious. I mean, really serious. But from what I seen, man, his strategy is the same. He walks through guys, goes to the body, try to break their will. He will try to crack you with a left hook and stuff like that. But he usually just try to walk through guys, man. Take your best shots. It's basically a grudge match. I like it. I like the style of fight. Cause everybody else not gonna fight like that tomorrow. You might see it like Gary Antoine Russell. He moves around and stuff, but it's gonna be a close fight. It's not gonna be a distance fight, on the outside. So those fights like that, those are gonna be good. I think Goucher and Adames might be some inside fight. Yeah, man, I seen the inside action he did last night. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, bro, if Paro can get this win, bro, if Paro can win this fight, depending on how this fight goes, this could easily end up being 2 or 3 fights, a trilogy or something. This could easily be. I'm telling you, the way this fight, if it goes out there looking pretty, if it's a good fight like that, and this man gets the upset, I'm pretty sure they got a rematch clause. Shoot, Tank Davis got a rematch clause. That's crazy. I know Tank Davis was saying, Earl Spence was on the phone with me. I understand all that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you respect Earl. And I'm gonna be real with you. Tank don't never one thing about Tank I have realized, and it's real talk. He don't really go at the guys who's like older than him. If y'all ever noticed that, he don't really go at the older guys like that. He'll make little comments, but he don't really go at the older guys. He'll try to show them a little respect. Even when Charlo then was like going at him and going all off. It was probably a promotion, but he'll show him a little more respect. These young guys, he ain't showing no respect to. If you younger than Tank Davis, he gonna try to step on you. And I can see why he does that. So, he's not gonna let a younger guy try to show him up or anything like that. So that's kind of what the situation was last night that I explained when he released the sparring footage. Hey, Tank like the Joker, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie. Tank like the real life the Joker. Like, if you say something about Tank, he's just gonna post a sparring video of you getting beat down. He gonna post a sparring video about you getting beat down. As soon as somebody said his name. Yeah. Woo! Frank Martin, little dream, boy. Frank Martin look drained. He looked drained. Woo, woo. Man, he had to cut that weight. Tank said, you drained. No, I think he locked in, though. Because he wouldn't be talking like that if he was. And then Frank Martin, you know, he used to cutting weight, bro. He used to wrestle. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. That cutting weight stuff don't really affect him. Whether it's Michigan or Indiana that he was from, they got some hardcore wrestling. That's like top 10 wrestling in the country. So he definitely gonna be in top shape, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. His cheeks is showing a little bit, but I think he locked in though. Tank Davis. Hey, Tank gonna try to push him tomorrow. All right, go ahead. Yeah, it's up there. Matter of fact, I'll put a clip of them in the comments for y'all real quick. Hey, like I said, what the share button at? I'm tripping. Yeah, Tank, he ain't do nothing. I'm not gonna lie, Frank Martin probably would have slapped her today if he would have pushed him. You know, Frank Martin was going for that flinching stuff today. So Tank was like, nah, I'm gonna lay off. Yeah, I put it in the comments. The link to the face off they just had. Somebody said Tank drains every opponent. Now I don't think he drained. I don't think he drained. Frank Martin got too much energy to go back and forth with Tank Davis. I don't think he drained. It's gonna be a very good fight right here, brother. It's gonna be a very good fight. I'm talking about a very good fight. Tank Davis a real deal, man. He going for the knockout too. Well, it's a lot of energy in that, boy. They going back and forth for real. Nah, Frank Martin just cut weight, man. He good. He don't look skinny or nah, he good. Yeah, he straight. They say he drained though. That's funny. That is hilarious. Man, it's gonna be a good fight tomorrow. That Matias, all those fights gonna be good. No, I think Frank he was like that in the last weigh-in. He was like that in the last weigh-in. He's definitely gonna be locked in. It's gonna be a huge fight right here. I didn't get to see the Benavidez weigh-in. I had to watch it back later on. Yeah, it's a very good fight though. I just want to see a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Just a close fight. It ain't got to be an upset. I don't want to. I don't have to see nobody lose as far as the favorites. Somebody got to lose, but I'm definitely looking toward this Tank and Frank Martin fight. I just want to see how much Frank Martin let his hands go. I know he gonna be ready to go, but definitely want to see what he do, what he bring to the table. It's gonna be a very good fight. I'm gonna definitely be live early tomorrow, though. Tomorrow I'm gonna be live early, man, so I can catch all these fights. It's definitely gonna be a good fight. I wish they would have split these weigh-ins up. Oh yeah, they got it up here now. Cool. I don't know, man. Vo's like he in shape, man. I ain't even gonna count to you. Vo's like he in excellent shape, man. Ooh, that's gonna be a good fight right there. Benavidez by KO. Yeah, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. Benavidez out here taking real challenges right now. Yeah, this is gonna be a very good fight. Yeah, tomorrow, I don't know, man. Unless I'm not gonna lie, even though I know that Terrence Crawford card gonna be good in August, not having that Tim Zoo fight with Virgil Ortiz, man, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, what's going on, man? Yeah, you seen it? Did he look drained to you a little bit? Yeah, he didn't look like he did that one. Yeah, he did. I ain't gonna cap. He did. Compared to Tank, yeah, he did. Yeah, compared to Tank, he did. Yeah, he did. That's crazy. He did. Especially when you look at the other weigh-in pictures he had. I don't know how he got him like that though. Last time he was good. You talking about the leg shakes? Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, he got me worried about that. I was gonna keep it. I was gonna keep it 1,000. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna complain if it wasn't gonna be no rehydration clause. I wasn't gonna complain. It's a rematch clause though. But as far as the rehydration, I said if that's not included, I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm gonna just leave it alone. But yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. What's crazy is though when I seen Ryan Garcia in the ring, man, that last fight, all I said was, "Man, he's huge." It was like a camera angle they had over the center of the ring. He was like he looked huge compared to Haney. And if you look at the whole time up until the fight, he was never like just super huge. Yeah, he was. He was. He was. I remember that one time when they said when he was on top of the Empire State Building, wherever it was, and it was super cold up there. He ain't have no shirt on. I'm like, bro, what is this dude doing? Yeah, especially at 140. Ryan know that. Hey, I had gave a good I had gave a breakdown about that recently 3V because I had said Because, you know, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they left 135 at the same time. And what people don't know is Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, because I used to be at that weight class, they kind of messed up their bodies as far as being able to cut weight, trying to make their last fight when they made the Lomachenko fight and the Tank Davis fight last year. They was at that weight class and squeezing out so many fights out that weight class that the last fight was kind of hard. So, and then Tank Davis had the situation where he had the claws in there for Ryan Garcia, and then, you know, Devin Haney had the situation with he couldn't eat during the Ramadan, and then he had Lomachenko fight around that same time. So yeah, I know what you mean. But I don't know, man. To be honest with you, and it's just being unbiased. Tank Davis that had so much trouble with weight over the years that I always said if he can make weight without a rehydration clause, can't really do nothing about it, because you know what I'm saying? He's like, it's like he's really disciplined with his weight now. Cause he did miss weight before. He missed weight before, so that's something he has had trouble with. So the fact that he's on weight and he's good, I couldn't really give him too much criticism about that. You know, he's doing his job now. He's not like how Adrian Broner is getting out of weight. His weight's getting over and stuff like that. And he's around this guy all the time, and his body's not like that. So Tank being disciplined, which is a good thing. But yeah, he definitely be having a lot of guys drained. Mario Barrio said that recently. And when Mario Barrio said it, it wasn't like an excuse, because he was just letting them know. Sergey Kovalev said it. I did a video probably like a month ago. Sergey Kovalev said something about Canelo weight scale, like the scale they had when he weighed in, it was like heavier than his. So he had to be like probably a pound or two lower on his or something like that. So he had lost extra weight ahead of time just in case, because he knew something funny was gonna be up. But he was saying it was so much stuff going on when he had to do second weigh-ins and things like that. So he was already drained. He had just fought like 2 months before that. So yeah, the weigh-in, the weight and stuff causes a lot of problems. It definitely does. But people always say that, oh, well, this guy's a weight bully. Like, bro, if the guy's too big for Tank Davis at that weight class, tell him to move down. You know what I'm saying? Because Tank, he was making 130 not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Just tell him to move down. It's like, anyway, that don't help when the guys complain about weight. Like, oh, I don't want this guy to fight. I don't want to fight a heavier guy. And then Tank said he don't like when guys fight 20 pounds heavier in the weight class. Like, bro, you asking anyway to move up. Anyway ain't asking you to move up. So you don't want people to be weight bullies at certain weight classes, but you asking anyway to fight at 130. Oh, if you can make 130, if anyway said I'll fight you at 130 right now, Tank will be like, yeah. But you want him to move up, so can't have it both ways. It ain't gonna work like that. Especially after everybody saying you fight Mario Barrios. That ain't gonna work. That excuse, that ain't happening. He at 147 now. Nah. But yeah, I think he'll eventually try to move up. A lot of people don't think he's gonna go to 140. I feel like he will. He can. Yeah, I feel like he will and he can. Yeah, that's it, man. I don't know why in 2024 everybody wanna act like they're super analytical now and stuff like that. Like, come on, bro. Are we serious? I ain't never heard nobody say, man, Deontay Wilder, 215 pounds. He don't need to be fighting no Tyson Fury. So we're going to stop the cap. Definitely going to stop that situation. Terence Crawford was at 135. He at 147. And everybody talking about he need to fight Canelo. That's a fight I was asking for years ago. But now that they believe in it because they see that he beating everybody. But yeah, they want to pick and choose who should go up and who don't. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. I'm making everybody go up. If one person go up, everybody going up. If you not, you gonna be considered a weight bully. Cause I seen a couple of weeks ago, people made that just the standard now. Weight bullies, weight bully. Like it sound cool until it get explained. But a lot of these guys been at the same weight class for centuries. Triple G at 160 for 20 years. That is embarrassing. And gave him a pass. Ain't nobody said nothing about it. No, I feel like a weight bully is a guy who's at the same weight class for 10 years and he's complaining about ain't nobody trying to fight me and they ducking me. I know a lot of guys who've been at the same weight class for 10 years and then they like everybody ducking. And I ain't trying to rain down on nobody parade, but I'll give you an example. Like a lot of people were saying Charlo couldn't get a fight at 54. Then turn around, Charlo go all the way up to 68. So I'm like, okay, if you could have fought Canelo at 68, you could have fought somebody else at 60. So you can move up and you ain't getting knocked out. So that means you could possibly beat all these guys at 60, but instead of challenging yourself, you just waited to go up to fight Canelo. I'm like, man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We miss out on big fights like that. Because no offense, but I never felt like the Canelo fight was going to be competitive. It was 2 fights last year that I felt like wasn't fights that should have got made. The De Los Santos and Shakur Stevenson. Oh my God. Everybody on earth sat up here and said, De Los Santos got a lot of knockouts. And I sat up here and said, just because you have a lot of knockouts, don't mean that you're going to get a knockout. Oh, Shakur getting knocked out. De Los Santos got a lot of knockouts. He getting knocked out. Everybody said this. Most boring fight I ever seen in my life. That was the shortest prediction video I've ever done on this channel. Because it wasn't nothing gonna happen. I already knew it. Wasn't nothing going on. And that's a guy who moved up in weight. Shakur Stevenson moved up to 35. So you'll think De Los Santos would be like, you know what? Let me watch this guy. I got all the power. He just moved up. Let me knock him out. So yeah, a lot of these guys, they be scared. Even if they do be weight bullies, they be scared to fight in the ring sometimes. Especially when guys moving up. Shakur Stevenson, he proved that. He moved up in the weight class, and people still don't want to sit up here and walk him down. That's crazy. Beating dudes with jabs. And people talking about, man, Deontay Wilder can't box. Bro, De Los Santos lost to a jab. Shakur Stevenson beat him with one hand, a jab. I'm gonna tell y'all how bad that was. If you go back and look at De Los Santos, Mark Messiah versus Gary Russell. Gary Russell's whole shoulder was messed up, so he couldn't lift his shoulder up or anything. But Shakur Stevenson's hand was messed up, so he's just punching this guy with one arm, and he's a power puncher. And the dude lost, man. So a lot of these guys, man, they like the guys that move up in weight. That's where the skill shows. Like some of these guys need to actually move up to when they sit up here and say, "Oh, this guy's ducking" and everything else. Nah, if Shakur Stevenson can move up, everybody should be able to move up. They don't feel like he's that good anyways. I know how good he is. So if he moves up, he's just gonna prove. It's gonna show, man. Trust me. It's definitely gonna show. That's why Tank Davis had to fight a guy like Barrios, because if he wouldn't have did that, a lot of people would have said, well, you know, he doesn't go up and fight anybody. So it all shows, man. I'm just glad the situation is what it is. But as far as the weight, I know a lot of guys at 140 right now that's bigger than Devin Haney at that weight class right now. I'm not gonna say any names or call them out, but I dropped some hints and said it in the past, but I don't even know. I think Esau Cruz bigger than Tank Davis right here. As far as in the ring, they're the same height, but I'm telling y'all, it could easily be a situation tomorrow to where the fight go like Eastside Cruz versus Tank Davis. And people say, well, you know, Tank Davis hurt his hand in that fight. Well, hey, sound like an excuse to me. I'm telling y'all, I ain't never said, I'm telling you, I got a lot of boxers that I follow. I ain't never said my favorite boxer, he had a close fight because his arm was hurt. And look at Gary Russell. Gary Russell lost a whole fight on points and was winning rounds. And somebody said, yeah, he got upset by Mark Messiah. I said, how was it an upset when he just fought him with one arm and he almost won? Oh, it's an upset. I said, okay. But yeah, Tank Davis was almost in that same position. If Eastside Cruz would have got 1 or 2 more rounds, would have been looking at a different situation right now. So it can easily get that way. It definitely could easily get that way. So he got some tough matches coming up. But the pressure gonna be on him after this fight. Pressure gonna be on him. I don't know if he's gonna fight at the end of this year, but Tank gonna have some fights lined up. It just all depends. Just like Matias and Tank, they gonna have a lot of fights this year at 40 and 35. I know Tank, he might do a situation where he fights in both divisions at the same time because I know he wants to hang around 35. I know he want to hang around 35. I know he wants to see what Inoue does. Finish his career undefeated. It depends on who he get in the ring with. If Tank Davis end up fighting Andy, I'll just pick. These not even hard fights. Let's just say he fight Andy Cruz. Now let's just say he fight Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, then Andy Cruz. But that's 3 hard fights, man. He could possibly lose those fights. And Andy Cruz is not really he don't have a lot of fights under his belt right now. But that's a tough fight. He gonna have to eventually fight him. They the same age and everything. He a gold medalist. That's the guy people said he not fighting a gold medalist, Andy Cruz. That's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Cause I'm definitely, I know he ain't though. I know it's gonna be more so like Devin Haney, Eastside Cruz, possibly Ryan again, Teofimo, Shakur Stevenson. Who's the next 2? If not Eastside Cruz, it could possibly be Rayo. And then I could possibly say who the other guy is. Not Rayo, but De Los Santos. He could possibly fight De Los Santos. I'll be on the lookout for the De Los Santos fight too. You said they're not finding no real threats? Nah, not right now. I think they're gonna start picking it up soon, 3V. Not right now though. I mean, it's starting to get there. It's starting to pick up a little bit, but every time it starts to get close to where they make all those fights, they push it away. You say you think Matias can be the one to beat all the kings? I really think it's Tank. I know people say Cherry, but I think he had all. Yeah. I think I'm a big fan of Tank. I think all these guys got a chance. To be honest with you, I think all these guys got a chance. I think if Teofimo could have got guys around the time that like he was fighting Lomachenko, he probably would have had a chance to beat everybody. But I think maybe, you know, everybody's not at their best right now. You know, some of these guys' best is probably in a couple of years. Some of them is probably just now entering their prime. So, you know, a lot of these guys, they're not at their best right now. But Teofimo against Lomachenko, that's a guy who could have beat anybody. Possibly what Tank Davis was doing against Barrios. and even like Gamboa, Matias when he was beating even the Urgashel fight recently, and the Ponce fight, a lot of fights. He's been at his best, so it depends on what day it is. Like even right now, I don't know if Paro's at his best. Man, it could be a situation where Liam Paro could end up being a problem. I know. He just give me a feeling, bro. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's too much money on the line. Absolutely. It's way too much bread on the line. That's why you got to be careful, especially like with all the fights. It's not really that many fights being made in America that's big fights. You know what I'm saying? We had the Devin Haney fight with Ryan Garcia and the Canelo fight, and then the Tim Tszyu and Fandora fight, and then this Tank Davis fight coming up. And then, technically Puerto Rico is a part of, the country now, but Puerto Rico has the Matias fight, so they got to make sure they're putting out the best fights right now. Everybody doesn't have the money to try to pay for certain fights right now. It's getting real tight. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I was making hints about the Mike Tyson situation. I don't know if people realize that, but I felt like they was gonna try to move the Mike Tyson fight so these other guys can get some shine, whether you believe it or not. But that actually happened. That's why they was always hinting that, yeah, Mike Tyson, he doesn't need to do this. They were trying to build a narrative around it. Yeah, me too. No, I think Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney losing. I think Devin Haney losing is and this is unbiased. I'm being dead serious. I think Devin Haney losing because Tank still want to fight Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney losing did more for him than actually if Devin Haney wouldn't have lost to Ryan Garcia, he probably would he would definitely would have probably lost to Tank. If he would have fought Tank the way he fought Ryan Garcia, he would have lost. Straight KO. I think him actually getting beat like that is gonna do better for him. Now he gonna stick to his strategy. So that was kind of like a blessing in disguise, really. But Shakur Stevenson, absolutely. I got Shakur high on my list. Yeah, I don't be caring about dude's last performances and how boring it was. If you were boring, that mean the other guy ain't do nothing. He get paid too. I gave a great example one time about he would have got wiped out. Yeah, he would have got wiped out, especially the rehydration clause. Come on, man. He could have did the rehydration clause around a Linares fight. When he fought Linares, he could have did a rehydration then. And what Dev also got to realize is fighting cutting weight. It's hard to figure out how to cut weight when you're growing like that. I'm just be honest. Because when I had got around that age, I was weighing more during that time than I do now. So his weight probably going up and down. Even Ryan Garcia, bro. I seen a video of Ryan Garcia. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all right now. Let me go down, grab it real quick. Ryan Garcia look like a heavyweight, man. Dude is huge. I was telling somebody that I was like, man, Ryan Garcia looks huge, man. Man, look how big this guy looks, man. I'm telling you, anybody going there with Ryan Garcia, they're gonna have some issues. That's not gonna be an easy fight for anybody. It's not too many guys calling them out. Right? Yeah, if Devin would have jumped in there with him losing the Tank though, that's gonna help him out in the future. That might sound crazy, but I'm being dead serious though. That's definitely gonna help him out. Even with I'll give an example. I think Eastside Cruz, when he lost the fight before he fought Tank, I think that helped him out. I don't think he would have looked the same if he would have fought Tank and he was undefeated. So some guys losses actually helped them. Believe it or not. Look at Ryan Garcia, lost to Tank Davis, came out looking different. That's what some of these guys got to realize. Losses actually help people. It depends on who you are. Some guys, they lose, they never the same no more. But what I do know is Shakur Stevenson, he's the guy that I know when I found out who Tank Davis and Devin Haney was, around that time, Shakur Stevenson was considered the top guy. He was considered the best guy. I think they was looking at Tank Davis like around the third best guy around that time. People might not believe that, but yeah, Floyd wanted to sign Shakur Stevenson bad around that time. I was like, man, well, Floyd's around this Shakur guy a lot. And I was surprised when Shakur Stevenson didn't sign with Floyd Mayweather. I was very surprised. I said, man, he not signing with Floyd? I said, he got a good relationship with Floyd. He's around Floyd all the time. But what Shakur did was, instead of signing with Floyd, he went and did what Floyd Mayweather did. Y'all got to understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. Instead of Shakur Stevenson signing with Mayweather Promotions, what he actually did was he signed with Jay Prince, the same thing that Floyd Mayweather did, and he signed with Bob Arum, same thing Floyd did. And now he's thinking about leaving, same thing Floyd did. He's really like Pretty Boy Floyd, man, to be honest with you. Yeah, I know. When I first seen that, I was like, whoa. Yeah, he really don't like losing. I mean, the dude goes out there and wins a fight. Even though the fight be boring, he'll go out there and have a boring fight, what people say is boring. And he'll be apologizing after the fight. Man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to look that bad. I don't know about y'all. I'm not gonna be apologizing after I win a fight. I'm not being sorry for winning. I'm not finna apologize for winning. That's definitely not going down. But yeah, Shakur Stevenson, he's a perfectionist though. But those guys, these fights been in the making for years though. They've been talking about Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney fighting. Bro, around the time Floyd was fighting McGregor. But that goes to show you that a lot of these other fights haven't been built up in boxing like that. But if Tank Davis can go out there and make some noise, man, next couple of months, I'm telling you, fight about 2 or 3 top 5 guys, a Loma, just sprinkle in somebody, Andy Cruz, just a name, you know what I'm saying, that fans know, and Shakur Stevenson, he'll be untouchable. See, if I was Tank Davis, I'll go ahead and get 2 or 3 hard fights out the way, so I can get the fans off my back, and try to develop some more stuff the next couple of years, and then see what goes on. Because everybody's still younger than him mostly. Most of the guys we want to see him fight is younger than him, so he doesn't have to do too much. But with Shakur and Lomachenko, they're in your division, so you gotta do something eventually. Yeah, man. Look at this video of Ryan Garcia. Look how big this dude is, man. This dude is huge, man. Look how big this guy is. This is insane. Y'all see this video up here? Look at the screen. Bro, he ain't close to 140, bro. That dude is huge. I said it during fight night. I was like, man, Ryan, huge. Because I've been looking at Ryan all these years. Look at his belly. I've been looking at Ryan all these years. I'm like, bro, Ryan was always a skinny guy, like wiry. This dude is humongous. But yeah, Ryan always been like this, though. The stuff he be doing. I'm not surprised by that. I'm definitely not surprised. I'm telling you, I used to ignore Adrian Bronner like this. When Adrian Bronner used to do crazy stuff like this, I used to ignore it. It's the same stuff around. I be ignoring it most of the time. We always have certain boxers that just do the Dennis Rodman thing all the time. It happens. But yeah, he's huge, man. Look, this dude got to be like 170 on here. Come on, man. If he was standing next to Bruce Ennis, he ain't gonna be. Bruce Ennis ain't that big. Yeah, this guy's huge. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, man. Ain't nobody finna jump in the ring with Ryan Garcia right now. That's a fact. I know what my money going to. Nah, he off them steroids. He off them steroids, man. Or cocaine. Cocaine do that too when you ain't doing that, but and I done heard some things about that lately between bro. But yeah, he's too heavy. Now 3V, would you consider him a weight bully? Devin Haney ain't never been that big. Now if Devin Haney that big, I want to see it. That look like 35 pounds over. Tank talking about some. Hey, you know what Tank Davis said? We need to get these boxers out of boxing who'll be fighting 25 pounds over. I don't like none of that. Well, what you think Ryan Garcia is right now? You think Ryan Garcia 143 right now? No, sir. And Tank talking about he'll fight him again. Man, this dude bigger than everybody else right now. That's why Eastside Cruz was like, no, sir, I'm not fighting. He can't even make 40. Eastside Cruz, like, I just got the 140. I got one fight at 140. Y'all want me to fight a guy who ain't fighting at 140? No, I still like Ryan, though. I be bothering him. I just keep it 1,000. Trust me, I took up for Ryan Garcia last year more than anybody. All these guys who sitting up here making all these videos about Ryan Garcia, they weren't taking up for Ryan Garcia last year. They was like, did you see what Tank Davis did to Ryan? He made him quit. Then they said Ryan Garcia should fight Sean O'Malley, an MMA fighter. Crazy. Nah, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Looking back on it though, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Looking back on it, it's a couple of times I made weight where I should have been like, man, I should have went up to 54, bro. Instead of trying to make it on 47, I should have just went to 54. Oh yeah, he is. He is. That's why I said a lot of the fans don't be listening. Him and Tank, they'll tell you what you need to hear. You know, it happens. I'm not gonna make too much a big deal about it because really I wasn't really too much mad about Ryan Garcia doing it. I mean, people have failed PEDs before. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody was mad about. That's what fans got confused. I think a lot of people think the fans were mad because they felt like people were trying to discredit Ryan Garcia's win. Like, nah, bro. Like, people got to understand. In America, we know boxing. I ain't gonna say in America, everybody know boxing, but I'm just talking about over here. We know boxing good enough to the point where we'll say, okay, Ryan Garcia got dropped in the 6th round, but I think him and Devin Haney will be a good fight. That's smart, bro. That's being a genius. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said a lot. People have to go back and look at the fans and the media people who were saying that Ryan Garcia shouldn't fight at all. Like the people who were saying that, oh, he shouldn't fight at all. He shouldn't be in the ring with him. Those are the people that kind of they want to take credit for the win, but they don't want to say that they said that Ryan Garcia shouldn't be in the ring. Just telling you, I'm telling you. If you ever get bored, bro, just go back, just type in these YouTube channels or whatever who follow boxing, and go look at what they was talking about between after Ryan Garcia lost to Tank Davis, up until the fight with Oscar Duarte. Well, after the fight with Oscar Duarte, go look at what they said after the fight with Oscar Duarte when they said his defense was bad. They said he had a Ninja Turtle shell on his back. It was hilarious. When they was talking about the Philly shell, y'all remember when they was making fun of Ryan Garcia's defense, talking about he had the fake Philly shell? And guess what I did? I didn't say anything about the defense. I was like, why are they talking about Ryan Garcia's defense? Ain't nobody said nothing about defense last fight, though. Where is it at? I can't really find it. Yeah, they were saying a lot about his shell defense, though, against Duarte. Man, I should have saved them pictures. They had so many pictures up around that time. Yeah, but Ryan Garcia is absolutely huge in this picture, though. That's why I said, bro, like, come on, man. Y'all don't know. We be giving guys passes. Like, we don't want to talk about nobody being 20 pounds over. Like, who cares, man? It's a warrior sport. Then I heard people just say, this is what you signed up for. Well, hey, Tank, this is what you signed up for. You know what I'm saying? This is what you signed up for. I ain't never heard nobody. I don't understand, man. It's a lot of boxers that fought guys that's bigger than them. I never understood that. We're not gonna have good fights like that if we start making that. See, if people would have said, okay, we don't want weight bullies in boxing, we would have never had Tyson Fury versus Usyk. If that would have been the case, Usyk would have said, you know what? I don't want to fight Tyson Fury because I'm giving up 20, 30 pounds, and y'all know how this weight bully stuff going on in boxing. We trying to stop this weight bully stuff that's going on, so I'm not finna fight Tyson Fury at heavyweight. Tell him to come down to cruiserweight. That fight would have never happened. So we can't have both. And those are the biggest fights. The guys who's willing to move up and fight people. Terrence Crawford had to move up to fight Earl Spence. Canelo had to move up to fight Triple G because Triple G wanted to be a weight bully. Triple G the biggest weight bully in boxing. And I hate to go at the brother like that, but it is what it is. Triple G the biggest weight bully, though. He was at the same weight class 20 years, man. 20 years. That's crazy. That is a long time to be in one weight class. But yeah, I was just showing that though. Yeah, Ryan Garcia is a heavy guy, man. Heavy. Yeah, he's pretty. Oh yeah, that's what Oscar had that said it about Canelo. Seen what video that was. But yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend in Boston. Man. I'm gonna be on here early tomorrow. Just wanted to come on here and chop it up with everybody. I'm gonna try to put up my picture early so you guys can know when the stream will start. But yeah, it's gonna be some good fights on. Yeah, 3V. You got any who you think gonna win tomorrow? 3V. You got Matias. You got Tank Davis. You got Benavidez. You got anybody else? Who y'all think? Y'all got any upsets tomorrow? I'm trying to figure out who the upset is, man. You know, it's hard to say that Tank Davis is gonna lose. Then it's hard to say Matias is gonna lose, but it's like Then I try to look at the undercard. The undercard, it's a lot of 50-50 fights on there too. So I haven't really figured it out yet. Yeah, me either. I don't know. I don't know. I just seen a video where it looked like Paro got dropped by somebody. And I gotta finish watching that. I just peeped that on here just now. So I don't know if he did get dropped. You know, sometimes some of these guys get dropped and the referee don't count it. Trying to see if that's a situation. But yeah, Matias is relentless, man. He throws a lot of punches, hard punches too. He got a lot of power. I do agree with people when they say that. It's kind of hard to pick against these guys with a lot of power because they're fighting some people that never been stopped before. Paro never been stopped before. Yeah. Yeah, you know, hey, you know how that goes. Tell me about it. You know how that goes. Hey, especially with them fights that when they don't want to stop the fight. Remember that dude Komatar turned his back against Raymond Ford when he was running? I've never seen a guy turn around and run in the ring. That was insane. They didn't want to stop that fight either. They have it fast though. Yeah, I think he is too. He gonna take him in deep waters. He is. See, that's a scary thing about Tank, man. He like a shark, man. He'll take you in deep waters. He don't care if he lose first 4 or 5 rounds. He'll let you get confident, relax. Yeah, man, he's scary, man. It's scary the way he go about things. It's definitely scary the way he go about things. I think after he get past this fight, he gonna start to challenge himself a lot more. It's not really too many places he can go as far as after this. Then he's gonna be turning what 30 soon, so he's gonna be 30 years old when his next fight happens. And if Lomachenko retires soon, technically Lomachenko is not supposed to be fighting right now. He was gonna retire last year. So technically, I be looking at things as if Loma's not even fighting anymore because technically he's not supposed to be fighting. So if he don't start to get these fights together soon, it's gonna be a lot of guys that'll end up losing or they'll go to Saudi Arabia and put those fights together. Because right now you see Rayo and Isaac Cruz have a fight together that Tank Davis just turned down recently. As far as with Isaac Cruz, and if he's trying to do a rematch with him, if he loses a couple of times, it won't happen or it won't matter. Especially if he loses the belt. So a lot of these fights possibly can't happen or won't happen. Especially once Turkey Al-Sheikh gets involved. They're not gonna be really paying too much attention to these fights overall. It's gonna be normal to have big fights on, so people not really gonna be waiting to build up fights or ask for fights. I'm telling you, soon ducking is gonna be embarrassing almost. People are gonna look at ducking as something that's embarrassing. A lot of guys will be out here like, okay, this person's ducking, that person's ducking. They're gonna be like, bro, ducking. Nobody ducks for Turkey Al-Sheikh. These guys are making $20-30 million. Why are you ducking? So for a guy to actually be ducking right now, it'll have to be a good reason. Technically, when for me, just learning over the last couple of months, because I don't want to be one of those guys that just say anything. I know the strategy behind why Tank doesn't say Saudi Arabia automatically, because y'all just know this from the outside looking in. If Turkey Al-Sheikh is interested in having Tank fight and he's calling for his name and want him involved, I mean, Tank waiting out that situation is different than what Canelo is. Canelo, he's already been in Saudi Arabia and he's dealt with Turkey Al-Sheikh plenty of times. Like I said, he was at the Andrew Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua's the second fight. But Tank Davis, he hasn't been he doesn't have a relationship with Turkey Al-Sheikh the way guys like Terrence Crawford or Canelo or Anthony Joshua does. So he's gonna use that to his advantage. But we need guys like that right now though. Because if we don't, without Tank and Ryan Garcia and all these guys this year, we wouldn't have no big fights in America this year. So that's what people gotta realize. If people actually like going to fights and watching fights in Vegas and everything else. I mean, if you want to just have fights strictly in just Saudi Arabia, that's cool too. I mean, that's fine. But eventually, it's not going to be enough cars for everybody. It's going to be eventually when guys like, oh, I'm being ducked, they're going to say, well, you need to retire because maybe nobody wants to fight you. You said that whole situation is questionable. Yeah, I would go over it. I've went over it a couple of times. I got a live on here where I said Turkey Al-Sheikh. I got his picture on my live. It's like Turkey Al-Sheikh exposes promoters or something like that. Because I was telling people, I don't want to get in trouble for this because, they'll start messing my live if I say this. But, what am I trying to say? They are you gotta watch what you say sometimes, especially with this situation. Yeah, basically what you said, you know what I'm saying? But overall, it's gonna turn a lot of people off because it's like you don't have any freedom. As far as I'm not gonna say that. That sounds terrible. You have freedom. They're not gonna force you to fight nobody. But as far as like over here, where guys try to like build up certain scenarios around them, like over there, with them just having guys jump in the mix and fight, it's not the same way as it will be over here, like with Ryan Garcia fighting Tank. If Tank Davis would have fought Ryan Garcia in Saudi Arabia, it probably wouldn't have been a situation where Ryan Garcia would have turned around and fought Devin Haney. And it wouldn't have been the same kind of impact. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying. Hopefully everybody understand what I'm saying on that, because from what I'm seeing, Ryan Garcia can't really survive certain situations as far as with that Tank Davis loss. If he took that loss in Saudi last year and then try to bounce back from it over there, it probably would have been different than what it was over here. So everything is not going to be good for everybody. But yeah, they're definitely going to fight over there. It's not like everybody's going to fight over there for the rest of their life, but it's some serious situations going on right now. I said something about it I actually said something about that with golf. I was actually talking about this with golf probably like 4 or 5 years ago, before boxing got involved or UFC. But golf was the first one to get involved in Saudi Arabia. I'll drop a hint on you. Charles Barkley, he was actually supposed to go to Saudi Arabia. He had signed for like a couple $100 million or something like that. It was a lot of money, more money he ever made. Because Charles Barkley always complains about the basketball player these days making $200 or $300 million. Well, he had got a fat contract. I think he was going to like talk about golf or something. And they was like, nah. Well, I ain't going to say they, but the deal got called off somehow. Somebody got involved and he didn't do it. But this is when they offered like Tiger Woods like $500 million or $1 billion, something like that. Something crazy. But yeah, they passing out money like crazy out there. So yeah, one of anything kills competition. Absolutely. I think at this time right now, but this is something they've been planning though. It's like most of these athletes, they knew that this situation was going to happen because Turkey Al-Sheikh been trying to make certain fights happen. I'm not mad at them, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's perfect, so I might not disagree with everything, but I can't be mad at them. It's something you're not going to agree with everybody, but I can't be mad at what he's doing. He made the Fury fight. The cards that are decent. You know, they had some good fights on there. I'm not gonna lie. They had some good fights on it. The guys fight hard in the fights. I will say that. Like those guys, when they go over to Saudi Arabia, they fight hard, man. They're not playing around. They're not just trying to get a check. Guys going in there for real, like fighting real tough. I'm telling you, the fights in Saudi Arabia look a lot more different than the fights over here when guys get in the ring. I don't know if it's because of the money or I don't know if it's the desert sand that does that, the environment, the energy. But it's something about when they go over there, them guys is fighting like gladiators in the ring. So yeah, I think that definitely helps it out. But overall, it confuses fans a little bit because they feel like certain fights are gonna happen. But we don't know who's putting the fights together. I don't know if it's the fighters putting the fights together or the promoters or if it's Turkey Al-Sheikh picking certain guys. I know Turkey Al-Sheikh will go to certain people and say, hey, will you fight this guy? Will you fight that guy? I'm not gonna lie, when he does that, I definitely like when he does that because he comes up with some good combinations. Like he has Bivol fight Apatah, just out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Turkey Al-Sheikh does a good job putting these fights together. I can't be mad at it. It's not like the last 15, 20 years. Well, I ain't gonna say 20, probably the last 15. It's not like the last 15 years they've been putting on fights to where the world's just been stopping. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a lot of fights where big fights that could have happened that never happened. You always hear it. People say, I wish these guys would have fought or this, but it's always trying to build up one fight. I feel like it's too much talent in boxing to try to build up one fight. I feel like it's a waste of time. It destroys some of the older boxers, some of their careers. If you look at guys now, they could have probably had longer careers if they wouldn't have just been sitting to the side and stuff like that. But it doesn't work out for everybody. But I feel like Saudi Arabia puts together the fights we want to see, though. It helps out guys like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford was in a position where people felt like he wasn't trying to fight the best, but now people are starting to realize now he's going to fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? That he can. And he's one of the oldest guys doing it. So we got the oldest guys are fighting the best. And people haven't noticed it. In Saudi Arabia, the hardest fights are from guys who are 37, 38, 36. And in America, the toughest fights are from guys who are 29, 28, 26, 25, around those ages. It's definitely going to breed success, but I don't know how much development is going to go on. I think it might be a situation where it might be a good situation, though, 3V. I'm going to be real with you because if we can have more smaller but boxing promoters, if we can have a lot of mini PBCs in America, that's good because we'll have more fights on. We'll be able to see more different fights and fighters have opportunities. It's a lot of guys fighting once a year, so we need more platforms so we can see guys fight 3 or 4 times a year. There's no reason why Terrence Crawford not fighting 3 or 4 times a year. I know, and then the bad thing is fans will say, well, we want to see big fights. Sometimes we just want to see a guy fight. You know what I'm saying? If a guy giving us one big fight in a year, I don't mind seeing him 2 or 3 more times that year. If he's gonna be better, if it's gonna help him out. And I like to see fights. So if it's a competitive fight, yeah, I would watch it. I would definitely watch it. I definitely feel like Saudi Arabia gonna go in a good direction, but it's gonna cause a lot of confusion as far as overall, because now fans don't really know how these fights are getting made or put together. As long as they get made, though, it don't really matter. I feel like fans worry about too much anyways without actually knowing the honest facts about everything. But as long as the fights get made, bro, I don't care if Eddie Hearn's doing it, Frank Warren. I mean, the fighters don't have a problem. The fans don't have a problem with the matchups. The cards get better every card they put out. So obviously they try to work on putting the right talent together and matchups. Yeah, I know exactly. Exactly, 3V. And I had did a live about that couple not too long ago when I was telling people that, you know, a lot of people will say, well, I was on PBC side and everything else. Bro, most of the guys that I was watching was PBC, and I still went and bought the Zone app as soon as it came out. Because it had Triple G, Canelo, Danny Jacobs was like the most active guy. I know Andre was on there early on before Canelo and those guys signed. And Tevin Farmer was on there. So they had a lot of guys who was fighting like 3 or 4 times a year. So I went and got the app. But now if you look at people like, well, the Zone's taking over, bro. They've been putting out fights. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I be having a lot of I get a lot of issues like that when I be talking about certain stuff. I got in a lot of trouble on my channel talking about Floyd and Ryan Garcia more than I did anybody else on YouTube. Like, bro, they don't care about like Canelo. If I talk about Canelo, it's not a problem. Just anybody you think of, any boxer, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, it's not a problem. But with Ryan Garcia and Floyd, bro, I don't. That's why a lot of times, bro, you'll see people like you'll see people actually going harder when that happens. Cause they're like, why are y'all doing this? So yeah, they definitely doing that. They definitely doing it. That's why I had to tell the news like I do now. A lot of people not gonna tell the news like this because they want to be biased and get interviews, stuff like that. If you look at the past 10 years that the boxing news been coming out, bro, we don't even know about the news that came out 10 years ago. Like my dog Jay Will, shout out to Jay Will too, man. Jay Will, he had told me, he was like, I didn't even know that Canelo had a rehydration clause on Rocky Fielding. I said, me either, brother. I was doing the evidence today because I was doing some research and I put it up. And he was like, I didn't know Rocky Fielding had a rehydration clause. I said, me either. Sometimes people don't understand. You can actually go back in history and figure out what's going on now, but people don't want to. They don't really care. People want to just come up with scenarios. Everybody's scared. Everybody getting knocked out. Blah 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 blah. So you know how that goes. Somebody got to be ducking somebody. It's only that's the only way some people watch boxing, and you can't really change that. You can't really change it. Oh no, they definitely be acting like that. No, they really be acting like enemies. Some of it be cap, some of it be some extra stuff, but yeah, a lot of these guys they get real for real. Yeah, these older guys they be going hard on the internet, man. That's why I like the younger guys, man. You know, younger guys they get a lot of criticism, but it ain't really no 20-year-old Charleston Whites walking around on the internet and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these older guys on the internet, they be going off. Not in real life, but as far as on the internet, they be going in a little too hard. But it be a lot of biasness too, though. I can't tell you how many times, like I seen recently. I know people who was sitting around here saying that um guys like Frank Martin was a decent fight for Tank Davis, and a lot of people got flack for that. A lot of people got flack for saying that Tank Davis versus Frank Martin is a good fight. You had people that was Tank Davis fans saying, "No, that's a trash fight," and then Tank Davis goes and picks Frank Martin. So if I think Frank Martin's a good fighter, I've been talking about him since last year, and Frank and Tank Davis says, "Yeah, I think he's good." Goes and picks him. Say, "I want to fight him," and his fans is now like, "Oh yeah, Frank Martin, you know, he's good enough." So yeah, a lot of these bloggers and fans, I mean, they be capping sometimes, but not really. It's messing up the game too, man, because a lot of fans, they believe in certain guys for information. And then when they find out guys is putting out information, they kind of hurt their feelings. That's why I don't never put out fake information. Everything I put out real, because once you figure out a guy's been lying, you almost feel like you've been robbed. You know what I'm saying? Especially robbed of your time. And then people be like, man, these guys take YouTube personal. Man, these guys be on here listening to y'all all day. You sitting up here lying about some boxing? Come on, man. It's just boxing. So yeah, when you do things like YouTube, you gotta be consistent over time for years and years. So you got a good reputation. A lot of people throwing their reputation under the bus for just one fight. That's why that Ryan Garcia fight, I knew it was gonna mess a lot of channels up. I mean, they have high numbers and everything, but a lot of people don't trust them. And I like Ryan Garcia. I had to tell the truth about everything. But he's not the first guy to pop a PED, so what? But what made it a big deal was the fans who don't really watch boxing every day. They're making a big deal about it. Like, this is Sammy Sosa versus Mark McGuire in the home run competition or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when they start to get ridiculous. That's when you start to notice that, oh, some of these fans watch baseball probably. So that's how everything's going. That's why Ryan Garcia got so much pressure on him right now. You got to realize, bro, ain't nobody thinking about Canelo and no PEDs right now. When Canelo goes up to fight Munguia, nobody was saying, well, Canelo might be on PEDs. Nobody thinking about that. But it's the fans who don't watch boxing. They're like, they don't watch it every day or as serious as most people. So they'll be like, oh, guys are just mad or this. And this is the reason why. And people are after this guy. Bro, ain't nobody after Ryan Garcia. If they after Ryan Garcia, they after Canelo. Canelo failed the drug test too. And it was after the Triple G fight. So ain't nobody said Triple G was after Canelo. So yeah, they gotta realize what goes on in boxing. It's a sport, man. It always happens. Always. We seen guys on Super Bowl teams fail drug tests. Nobody said they shouldn't be in the Super Bowl. It happens, man. But yeah, the bloggers, they messing the game up though. Everybody's making it more about them than the actual sport. So if they don't like a certain boxer, they'll just say, "Oh, I don't like this guy. And this is the reason why." So that's what's really messing the game up, because you got a lot of young people who still trying to learn boxing, and they'll come in and learn it in the wrong way or bad habits. They won't try to figure out how to figure out how guys are the best. Like, I hate when people sit up here and see a guy like Isaac Cruz go 12 rounds with Tank Davis, then they'll be like, oh, well, Isaac Cruz is good because he lasts. Like, you had to wait until he went 12 rounds with Tank Davis to find out how good he is? That's horrible. I didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a talent. That's actually a skill. There's people that was walking around the boxing world and didn't know that Isaac Cruz was that good. He had a loss and everything. And if you hear how he said, he was really like on the outside looking in because he wasn't really getting a lot of opportunities. He was a late replacement for that Tank Davis fight. So that was like a last chance type of thing. Not last chance, but at the last second, he was a replacement. So it's like opportunity he needed to redeem himself. And he fought Tank after a loss. So if he was somebody else with a bigger name, people would have been like, that guy has a loss already. So a lot of people can surprise you. So before I get off, that's just an example of Frank Martin. Yeah, he can be a threat. Anybody can be a threat. If Isaac Cruz could come in to get in the ring with Tank Davis, go 12 rounds, and then Tank Davis is saying, yeah, man, well, my wrist was hurt in the fight and all the other stuff. That's an excuse, brother. Every time one of these fighters lose out here, y'all say it's an excuse. Wilder heavy suit, excuse. This guy with this, excuse. Lomachenko lost to Teofimo, he said the judges. So everybody have excuses. But the fact that he, oh no, nah, it didn't surprise me. I'm telling you, I never do no capping on here to you. It didn't surprise me just because of the style, man. Like I don't know. Sometimes when I see a boxer, I could tell that they got something in them. Like they ain't finna try to lose tonight. A lot of these guys, they'll go out there and lay down, but you could tell some of these guys like Cruz, he's not gonna lay down. And he fought Tank when he was like 23. He was only 23 when he fought Tank. I don't think people understand that. I think people think Eastside Cruz 30 years old. Eastside Cruz fought Tank when he was like 22, 23 years old. That's the crazy part if you think about it. And Frank Martin ain't got no chance? Nah. I don't know who told y'all that. Probably the same people that say Eastside Cruz ain't got no chance. I'm gonna drop a jewel on y'all before I leave. Most people didn't think Eastside Cruz could beat Tank Davis or even the last 12 rounds. They thought he was gonna get knocked out. They called him a bum, thought he was gonna get knocked out and everything. Now you look around, man. Matter of fact, people thought he lost to they thought Tank Davis lost to Eastside Cruz. They thought Tank lost to Eastside Cruz. And he got booed. Everybody don't remember that, man. Yeah, everybody don't remember that. Tank Davis got booed after that fight. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this thing out. But yeah, Eastside Cruz is on that list. He beat Gamboa. Yeah, this definitely gonna be the toughest fight. With him fighting Cruz, Romero, Hector Garcia, Ryan Garcia. Yeah, you gotta. This definitely gonna be one of those fights. But Eastside Cruz think Tank Davis is a harder puncher than Roller Romero. Yeah, but I seen Deontay Wilder get a knockout with a broke hand though. That's what I'm saying. Like these dudes ain't got no power, bro, in both hands. Tank ain't got power in both hands, bro. They talking about Tank is a superior boxer. He got all the power in the world. They talk about his knockouts like everybody else ain't got 100% knockout rate. He got to have power in both hands. And we talking about power all day. Because we be talking like Deontay Wilder ain't got power. We just seen Deontay Wilder get outboxed and knock guys out. That ain't nothing new. But when Tank Davis said, "Oh, my hand was messed up," that was an excuse to me because even though his hand was messed up, Shakur Stevenson's hand was messed up. Let me tell you how. Let me tell you, this is where me and Tank Davis have problems at. Shakur Stevenson had a problem with his hand against De Los Santos. De Los Santos got more knockout. His knockout percentage is way higher than Eastside Cruz. His knockout percentage was almost 100% before he fought Shakur Stevenson. Tank Davis had the same situation that Shakur Stevenson had with his hand, but Tank's happened in the fight though, so he had more of a chance of actually knocking Cruz out. Shakur Stevenson's hand was messed up before the fight even started, and Tank Davis still went out there and said, "Yeah, man, he was born. He ain't even do nothing." The same Tank that turned around and said, "My hand was messed up, man, in the fight." Okay, why don't you give Shakur Stevenson that excuse then? That would me and that brother be losing. If that was my home, I'd be like, bro, my hand was messed up against Cruz too. And you sat up here and laughed at me when my hand was messed up. So why would I give you an excuse when you say your hand was messed up against Cruz? No, bro. Nah, I'm not finna give you no excuse. You ain't even saying nothing about when my hand was messed up, and I got a knockout. Deontay Wilder done got knockouts with a I ain't gonna count 3V. Deontay Wilder done got knockouts with a broke hand. And you know what I said? And I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. You know what I said? As long as you got that knockout. Not saying it as you better get a knockout. Not saying it like that, but saying as a warrior, you know the standard. As a warrior, you know the standard. So, but everybody else, they expect guys to get a knockout. I had to take up a Tank after that Eastside Cruz fight though. It went bad for a minute, but I had to take up for him. It went bad, man. I had to take up a Tank. Bro, Twitter was letting them have it. What's crazy is I didn't even know Tank got booed after the fight. I didn't even know he got booed. I think I had turned it off by then. Everybody say, yeah, man, it's crazy. They booing Tank, man. When does the fight start tomorrow? Give me 2 seconds. Right now, the time I got is 7:30 p.m., but it could be if you Eastern time, but it could be 6 p.m. Eastern time. They got a lot of fights on this these prelims. I know they got the prelims coming on. Matter of fact, let me look up these prelims. What time the prelim schedule come on real quick? Give me 2 seconds. Hey, here go the link right here. I'm gonna drop it in the comment. It say it come on 21 hours from now. So what is that? 5:30 p.m. What, Eastern? It look like 5:30 Eastern. He got the prelims right here. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna give you the he got to save this in your playlist right now. This gonna be the first fights that come on. Then when these go off, you'll know. You said it's 2:30 right now? It's 2:30 a.m. Okay, so that means Tank gonna fight around 5:30 a.m. But the smaller fights are gonna start around 9 or 10. So around 9 or 10, the small fights gonna start, and around 5:30 a.m. That's when Tank gonna fight around 5:30. But I check in around 4 o'clock, 4:30. Just take a nap. Cause usually what I do, I'll take a nap about 2 hours, and then I'll wake up probably 4:30 a.m. Then I'll watch it. But yeah, that's the link down there for the prelims. They come on at 4:30. That's gonna be early. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, those fights that come on the prelims tomorrow, I know a lot of people don't watch undercards. I'm gonna watch that undercard tomorrow. The undercard fights for tomorrow is gonna be serious. I'm watching the undercards for tomorrow. They got some very good undercards on tomorrow. I'm talking about even the small ones. These I hate that I'm missing these guys' names. There's some other guys that's supposed to be fighting too. I don't know if they're gonna show those fights on TV or on the platforms. So I guess they're just showing these certain fights. But there was some other guys that had some smaller names. I guess they're gonna be fighting off camera, but yeah, they got some good fights coming on tomorrow. It's gonna be 10 fights, they say. Should be around 10 fights. Maybe wrong. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be some good fights coming on tomorrow though. Yeah, it should be around that time though. Around 5:30. But I'll definitely check around 4:30 though. And I know Matias fights at 4:30 too. Matias gonna fight around 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. Yeah, so Matias, he'll fight at 4 a.m. That's gonna be a good fight too. I don't know if they had the prelims up here on for the zone, but let me see. No, I don't see anything. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight though. Yeah, that Matias fight gonna be 4 a.m. around 4 a.m. No, the Tank Davis fight, I would check around 4 a.m. But I think that Matias fight gonna be around 4 a.m. though. So I would say, but I would check 3:30 around that time. So I would keep it like 3:30, 3:30 for Matias fight, 4:30 for Tank Davis fight. I think they're gonna be an hour apart as far as the main event. Cause that Tank Davis fight card, it has so many fights on there. I think they're gonna push that up until probably midnight. Cause but who knows though? Cause the zone did the Ryan Garcia card with Devin Haney. That was almost like 12 o'clock at night. I mean, it took forever for that fight to start. I watched the whole undercard too. I was exhausted. Oh, shout out to my dog Aaron too, man. The cash up, man. Appreciate Aaron, man. Yeah, shout out to my dog Aaron, man. Yeah, shout out to my dog, man. I'm definitely coming on tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta go live tomorrow, man. We definitely gonna talk about a lot of things coming up. But any questions before I get up out of here? I got some more information. I'm gonna drop some clips for y'all right now when I get up off of here about this Tank Davis. Just so y'all can know some more information. But hey, you said something about that Saudi Arabia business deal thing. So I got some information about that. I'm gonna go ahead and put a video together for you so you can hear about that. I'll probably do that like tomorrow morning. So y'all hear about that before the fight start. But yeah, Turkey Al Sheikh is just putting together some situations where he can they're gonna have let's just say as far as the company, he's not gonna buy all the companies, like he's not gonna go to PBC and buy them or anything like that. But certain companies, as far as promotional companies, he will have like 10%, 20%. I don't know. I might come on in the morning. I'm gonna be real with you, depending on how the fight goes tomorrow. But I'll be here. I'm gonna put the time up, but I'm probably be here at 4. I'm probably be here 4:30. 5:30 Eastern time. I know I usually say that. I know everybody like, man, he gonna be late. I'm gonna be early on time tomorrow. So I'm gonna be like 4:30, 5:30 Eastern. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fights coming on tomorrow. Y'all gotta realize too. I'm gonna say this before I get off too. This fight card is basically like how they did the Fundora and Tim Tszyu fight card. You remember how good that one was? That was a good fight card from top to bottom. Even the Ryan Garcia fight card was decent. The undercard and everything. So a lot of these fight cards are gonna be stacked. They're gonna be way better than what we think. So I'm gonna be on early tomorrow, especially on undercard, especially the prelims at 4:30. I'm gonna pin it at the top. But yeah, the prelims gonna be good. They got Mark Messiah coming out. A lot of these guys gonna be fighting, so it's gonna be a good chance to see some big fights. But yeah, I'm gonna try to come on 4:30. I'm gonna post the live early up early, so you can see ahead of time what time I'll be up. I have it up, put it on the community page. Yeah, I definitely will. I'll put that up. But it's gonna be a lot of upsets, man. I don't know, man. I try to get some information. I agree with everything 3V saying, but I was really trying to get some information out of them. Like, do you hear something different? Because a lot of these fights gonna be close, man. Anything happen that somebody hurt a thumb or something, one of these guys gonna lose. Everybody's locked in. Then also you gotta think about a lot of these guys know if they possibly win a fight right here, they can possibly be looking at $20, $30 million at Saudi Arabia or something. So it's life-changing events. Even if, you know, anything can happen. But yeah, that's definitely what time I'm coming on, about 5:30 Eastern time, 4:30 Central. Cause it's gonna be a deep fight card. Definitely gonna. If you want to watch some boxing tomorrow, you got a lot of fights coming on. You got 2 fights in the UK coming on early. You got Ben Whitaker, and you got the Willem Smith fight coming on. Those 2 fights, and then you got 2 fights over here coming as far as in this region, like Puerto Rico, Sabril Matias against Liam Paro. Then you have I'm gonna do the Matias and the Paro. I'm gonna do the main event for that fight when it comes on. But I'm gonna also do the Tank Davis, the card. But I'm gonna do the main event for Matias and Paro. It's gonna be a good fight. I'll be able to do both, trust me. I called a fight before, 2 fights at the same time one time, and everybody thought it was, everybody didn't have no problem with it. You know how hard it is to kind of have everybody on the same track, but people thought it was decent. So I'll probably do that again if it happens. But I think it's gonna be separated this time. I definitely feel like it's gonna be separated. But yeah, I'm gonna come on around that time. If I find out any information that's like huge, I'll probably come on in the morning, but it don't seem like it's much gonna be going on. But I'll figure out. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Appreciate 3V for coming in. Dustin. Shout out to Dustin too, man. In Germany. Yeah, shout out to Dustin, man. I'm gonna post everything up for you, Dustin, so you know. They got the times and everything and like the UK times. So I'll post it up on the page. Oh yeah, appreciate that 3V, man. You already know, dog. I've been seeing you in here the last month or two, so yeah, you a cool dude. You know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's all I got though. I'm gonna be back probably tomorrow, early. Probably not early, probably later on when the fight comes on. But that's all I got, man. Like and subscribe.